Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Hey everyone, welcome back to J is for Justice. My name is Jay. I am your host today. It is Tuesday, September the 24th. I hope you guys are all doing well today. So thank you guys for excusing me from yesterday's stream. We have this hurricane that popped up out of nowhere. Well, it's not a hurricane yet, but oh, that's cute, show. You'll have to record them next time. That's cute. But we have this big ass Helene coming our way, and I want to thank everybody. I made a members only post to help me out because when it rains it pours, right? So this Thursday, yes, do you remember? I'm gonna have to evacuate out of here. Aries says, I want to say thank you, everyone, for your well wishes during this difficult time of mine. Whatever you're going through, Aries, I'm not sure what that is, but my thoughts go with you. All is well. We just got this big ass Helene. Her name's Helene. Yeah, did you, September? Yep. I booked a hotel for Thursday. Hopefully we'll be able to come home Friday. Amy, thank you so much. But I've got the link. What's going on, Aries? I hope you're doing all right. So we have, I think that's it. Thank you so much. Oh, a funeral on Thursday. Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. Second funeral in 10 days. Ugh. So sorry. I know, Helene. It's looking, they said, at least a category 3. So I'm like, I'm out. I'm out. The trees are changing there in the D. Good to see you, Teresa. Thank you to all the mods that are here today. So, yeah, we'll be evacuating with the dogs and the cat. It's going to be loads of fun. But like we did last time when we evacuated, I streamed from the hotel. The new grandbaby's in Georgia. So, yeah, he's fine. Thank you, Lovey. Glad to see you're safe after yesterday. What was yesterday, Judy? But thank you. What was yesterday, though? You think it's going to be a 4? Ian was your first hurricane after living in Florida, so naturally I'm traumatized. I do. Hey, proud Mimi. Thank you. Jammers, be careful. Shell, I know the feeling. I lost my job and my dad passed all in 1 week. It sucks, but stay strong. I did stay home for the last one. It was just a tropical storm, and that was really scary. So always be prepared for a category higher than forecasted. That makes sense. You got bad medical news, Lake Erie. Well, let's send some prayers and thoughts. No, later this week, Judy. Yesterday, I was out running errands and getting shit. I think it was 2 years ago, Lucia, that we evacuated. Because that was when I came home and the kitty was here. Remember, we named it? I think that was 2 years. Gulf storms seem to rapidly intensify. Plus, it's been so damn hot that the water is probably so hot that's why it's going to be so big. It's good to see everyone today. So you guys, if you want to use I do have Cash App. I just don't know the thing. There you go. Shell got it. Thank you guys. With Ian. Yeah, I think it was Ian. Yep. And we just have to go inland. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to make a big move out of it. We just have to get the hell away from the coast. Yeah, it was 2 years ago, wasn't it? I thought so. Hey, Melissa B. Good to see you. Yes, we're all good. It's not hitting until later in the week. So we're getting prepared, right? And love to those going through their personal storm. Just know every storm runs out of rain. True that, Amy. You're a testament. Even with the news, I watch you daily. Thank you. Oh man, I almost canceled this at the last minute because there's a Diddy press conference. There's a new lawsuit against Diddy. Yes, and make sure you charge your electronics if you're in the path of the storm because it can still turn. You know what I mean? Desiree, thank you so proud. Mimi, thank you for your Cash App. I appreciate you. Living 5 miles from the beach is nice till a hurricane. Yeah. Oh, man, where's my freaking glasses? Velma, I can't find my glasses. Michael was only supposed to be a Cat 3. I didn't live here during Michael. I don't think. I can't remember the names. You're in Pasco and you're preparing. Lala, stay safe. You're inland, but the flooding is horrible. I know. Shell says she'll try to keep everyone updated if Jay needs me to in Discord. I'm going to try to go live like I did last time. Remember that? I was in the hotel room and you guys were watching the storm. Yeah, we can do that again. Well, Juno, I'm going to evacuate at least for one night because last time we went, we got 2 nights and we came home a day early because once the storm is past, you can go home. I added some things, Cricket, to the Amazon list. Thanks for reminding me. I did put some things on there like flashlights, shit like that. I need glasses to find my glasses. I need an Apple tag on my glasses. I love that too. Proud to be here. You got yourself a great, young, wise male. I know a lot about weather, politics, news, sports, etc. I've noticed you in chats, Aries. It's been a pleasure to have you. You had Isabel in Virginia, Cat 4. You didn't have power for over 2 weeks. Oh, God. Nash native. Hey, Jay, you might as well just head up here to Tennessee. Everyone else is. So come on. Dude, I know. I don't even want to think about it. I hope my roof makes it too. I know. We'll find out. We'll find out.
Fucking fuzzy slippers and lip gloss.
I got it, Kels. Hey, Angie B. Robin, thank you so much. Oh, I keep getting Weather Channel. Helene's forecast. So DeSantis was live today. So my daughter is spending her first Florida hurricane in this one, right? Thanks, Lindsay. Kels needs glasses. She needs glasses to find her unmute button. Ha ha ha. Roxy. You want a carpool, Lala? Let's go. You might move to Tennessee. The house prices look tempting. I know. Let's do it. Did you guys hear the Floridians in the house? Did you guys hear that the Mormon church is incorporating 300 right wait. They have 300 acres of land the LDS church owns. They want to incorporate some of that to Orlando. And if it goes through, it'll make Orlando almost twice as big as it is now. Did you guys hear that? I'm like, how random that the LDS church just randomly owns like 300 acres in Florida. Where else do they own property? Keisha, no, we're not staying. We're leaving Thursday. Like, we'll leave Thursday morning. You love Florida too much to move out? Ugh. Tornadoes are so scary, Swin. That's actually scarier than a hurricane to me. You're Mormon? Isn't that nuts, though? Like 300,000 acres? And then they're like, oh, we're going to incorporate some of it to Orlando. It's like an annex or something. I don't know. I haven't looked into it enough. But I was like, this is bananas. But isn't that crazy? Like, how much property do they own elsewhere, you know? Last Del Control ATV LTS Church Hero, welcome in. Thank you. I'm telling you, I would rather have a hurricane than tornadoes. Tornadoes are absolutely terrifying. Cricket, I just came from the north. That's where I grew up. You're from Puerto Rico? You were born in a hurricane? So was my dog Bella. You left Clearwater 1 year ago and the storm still had your way. They can't leave you alone. There's something in the water down here, though. We got Scientology. I didn't know that the LDS church owned all that property. Like, that's a lot of fucking money.
It's in the water. What the
So let's get into today's stream. Thanks for joining today. If you guys could hit that like button, it is greatly appreciated. And if you could help out by donating to the channel, that is always appreciated. Never expected, but I do appreciate you guys keeping me rolling here on the tubes. Today we're going to get into, from the docket, Jenn Soto's ex-husband is going to be, his name is Steve. And then we're going to hear from Madeline Soto's bio dad and her stepmom. Thanks, Maggie. Wisconsin, don't you know? My uncle had to come down from the mountains to get my mom to hospital. Oh my gosh. Okay, Last Del Control. I don't know if I'd go that far. All it's been doing in Pennsylvania is raining every day. Pennsylvania is sad right now. It's all these people involved in the Sebastian Rogers case it's got Pennsylvania down today. I remember visiting Tampa and a place had Mother Teresa stain that appeared on a glass building. It was wild. Same time Pee Wee was busted. So he was in Sarasota. Hey, Gyps. Isn't she beautiful? Well, you guys, it's going to be really sad to hear from two more men in Madeline's life. I know, like, girl, it is freaky. Remember watching the Hawaii fires and all that? Isn't that crazy how we just forget, you know? I mean, I haven't forgotten, but you know what I'm saying. It's like constant news, and then nothing. Jehovah's Witnesses own a lot of property? Really? What's up, Andy? Good to see you, Kendra. Oh, you guys, take a deep breath. This is going to be a drama-free stream. No BS. We're just going to chill. We're going to listen to these accounts of these men. And, oh, she did look just like her dad. I agree. But let's get into Jenn's ex-husband. They got married on Pi Day. Okay. Yeah, Nash Native. It's really sad because she really didn't have anybody to turn to. But I think instead of bashing, you know, obviously her dad probably beats himself up every day. I mean, I would hope. Because it's a lesson learned. And I just want one of these fathers just once to make a statement out of their mistake. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't involved. I wasn't there. I didn't protect her. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that to be mean to him, but I think we need to start saying it. And I really want, like, these fathers to recognize their failures, you know, because none of this was Maddie's fault. Like, none of this falls on her shoulders. So it does fall on her mother's shoulders. Absolutely, Teresa, I do. You know, so it's so sad. Little girls need their daddies. They do. Dads, you're needed. You really are needed. Even if your daughter is, you know, being a brat or doesn't want anything to do with you, you're needed. You really are. Oh, I'm sorry, Pearl. Welcome home, baby. Welcome home, Pearl girl. So I don't know. Let's get into Steve. This is Steve Young. This is the only man that Jennifer ever married. So this is her only husband, her only ex-husband. And they, like I said, they got married on Pi Day, which is May 14th. And that's how he remembered. Hi, Ellie. That's how he remembered. Hey, Keto. Hey, Ganja. That's how he remembered the wedding date. Because I was like, how does he remember that? And then he's like, I remember because it was Pi Day. I'm like, oh, fuck. Did they wave around? Did they wave around, what do you call it? Lightsabers? All right, here we go. This is Steve Young, Jenn Soto's ex-husband.
Thank you, Alexa, for the super chat.
And this is courtesy again of the docket on YouTube. And the link to his channel is in the description as well. Let me know about the audio,
Hi,
guys.
Amanda, Michelle, and Hello Kitty
Hello, Kitty.
for the 9. Thank you so much.
Oops, I thought I had it at the right spot.
Mange 9
Sorry about that.
supporting the Jennifer's
formalities real quick.
Here we go.
No,
Let me know about the audio, y'all. May the 4th be with you.
All these people involved. Yeah. All right, the date is March 5th, 2024. The time is 2:19 p.m.
I think they did too, GB.
We are at the Kissimmee Police Department, reference to case number 24001896. Person present are myself, Detective Morris, Detective not to give us the truth.
Is it too fast? It seems kind of fast for me.
Nothing but the truth to the best of your knowledge, so help you God.
Yes.
Perfect.
Oh,
Okay.
314.
I have a feeling you know
Robin,
why.
I failed math, okay? I'm not good at math, so thank you. 314. What did I say? May 13th? I'm dyslexic with numbers. I seriously am. If you tell me a phone number, I garble it up. I can't do it. I can't do it. Noodle sabers. Okay. All right, here we go, guys.
You're here, why you came to Florida and stuff like that. There's an investigation into a young lady named Madeline, her death. Okay. Throughout the investigation, we spoke with Jennifer, Madeline's mom, and she said that you and her were married at some point. Do you remember when that was?
We were married on March 14th, 2015. I can remember that because it's Pi Day, 3.1415. We divorced, I think, in 2016, maybe 2017. It'd be in
Hey,
Kissimmee
Joe.
Records, though. It was done here in Osceola County.
Okay.
It wasn't Disney.
Where did you meet her?
Online, OkCupid.
Okay, Cupid is like a dating site or
Yeah,
something like
it's a
that?
dating
Okay.
website. Yeah, it's like pink and blue and before Tinder and all these apps
Got
came
it.
out and stuff. Yeah, I met her on OkCupid. Can I take out my phone? I took some
Yeah,
notes
absolutely.
on dates that I could remember.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for you guys to be asking about how long I've known them and stuff and whatnot. I think I met her around summer of 2013. Yeah, we were married March 14th, 2015.
Pi Day.
I think we divorced somewhere at the end of 2016, beginning of 2017, somewhere
Okay.
in there. But
Hi,
again,
Lisa.
I know it should all be in Osceola
Yeah,
Records.
that's fine. And when you guys
Okay.
were married, did you live here or did you?
We lived in the apartment where everything happened.
Okay, so in Venetian Bay.
Yeah, it was her, Maddie, my daughter, and me.
Okay. Did anybody else live there at the time?
Juan,
Juan.
her dad.
Okay.
I think he still owns that unit, and he lived there in the bottom floor unit. Maddie had a room, my daughter had a room, and me and Jenn had a room upstairs.
What was your and Jennifer's relationship like?
It was pretty good for the first couple of years we were together. She started having some mental health issues, which
Like what?
Hi, Cheesy.
she would just get really depressed, and she would just kind of shut down some days, and so I'd just be on full parent duty, just take care of both kids and do the pickups and everything, and do the
So he's saying that Jenn would retreat to bed and not do anything. So he was doing the pickups and drop offs of the two girls. So he had a daughter that was older than Maddie. And he met Maddie, I think, when they were 4. And hello, Aristocrat. And hello, Teresa. Or Teresa. I don't know if I'm saying that wrong. Sorry if I did. I missed someone else.
The dinner.
Music City.
I was in school. I was working full time. And it was exhausting. And it just got to the point where her mental health was just stacking up, and I couldn't be there as much. And I needed to take my daughter out of that environment. And we still co-parented. Like, Maddie to me is, is my other daughter. I was in her life for 11 years. Like, me and my daughter, like, that was my daughter's sister. That's the only close thing she's ever had to a sister. We still have birthday gifts. We talked to her. Like, my daughter and her best friend played games with Maddie every month for years online together. And, like, I talked to Maddie all the time. I'd pop over and talk to her and ask how things were. And I thought she was in good hands. He does
sound like a decent guy.
And I know that me and Jenn...
Well, he knew she wasn't in good hands. But he also knew that she had other family. But still, he got his daughter out of there and moved on. But you're going to hear that Maddie and his daughter, they kept in touch. They would FaceTime, et cetera, et cetera.
Didn't work out, but to me, she was still a friend. And I still loved and cared about Maddie. And so I tried to be a friend to Stefan, too, when he came in the picture. Yeah. Like, if he's in Maddie's life, I want to get to know this person. So I tried to get to know him some, try to be a friend to him.
Where did you meet him?
I met him through Jenn. I think she said that he had met him through a real estate company that his parents had at the time. I don't remember positions they had there.
Okay.
But she said she's involved with him. Barbara. And I loved Maddie, so anybody that's involved in her life, I wanted to know. And so I tried to get to know him, be a friend to him.
Okay, so he started hanging out with Stefan. Barbara Hall, thank you for czarring me today. You czarred me. That is South Africa. I know you're in South Africa. I remember czar, but thank you so much. You missed a lot of the lives because of the time zone. Sorry, my money not worth much due to exchange rates. Your money is not what I'm concerned about. Thank you for being here, and thank you for watching. And also thank you for your super chat. Appreciate you.
We started connecting on
And hey, Barbara, when you donate to someone, don't ever apologize, because it's very, very much appreciated. Thank you so much.
Games and stuff. Like, I was into D&D.
Dungeons and Dragons.
I think he's introduced me like Star Wars Legion and this Robomech game. So, like, I tried to play some of those with him and stuff. We went and shot guns before. I looked it up. I think we went to Tannerack. It's on the way between here and Tampa. That's a public shooting range down there. But he was just so commercialistic. And
what do you mean?
He just always wanted to buy the next thing. And, like, when I would invest in a game, like, as I was playing the game for a while, like, I've been playing the same D&D game with my sister for 2 years. It's the same campaign. Like, I like playing the same thing and not reinvesting in new stuff. And he was always the next thing.
No, this is not Maddie's bio stepdad.
Thank you, Docket.
This
Charlie.
is Jenn's first husband that she was married to.
Thanks, Eric.
And we got a little, like,
me and Eric
argument
make a
one
good
day.
team,
I went
don't
to visit
we?
them down in Northport, and I essentially called him a sellout for always buying new shit, and kind of had a little tantrum, and then we just kind of stopped talking after that.
When do you think that was?
Stefan had a tantrum.
It was before COVID, because I think that, if I remember correctly, she moved back up from Northport during COVID, so I think it had to have been right before then when they were down there.
Did they live in a house or?
They were in an apartment. We visited them once.
Okay.
But there was an apartment down there that they had in Northport.
Okay.
But yeah, me, my wife, and my daughter all visited them because we're always trying to keep the girls together because they're each other's siblings, you know? Like, they didn't have any biological siblings of their own. And so whenever we could, we tried to keep them together. And I've tried to talk to my daughter to see if she can remember anything.
Just so I'm clear, that Jennifer is not the mother of your daughter.
No, she's not the biological mother of my daughter. That's a whole nother story. I'm not sure exactly where she's at. Right. She's been on the run and not paid child support for years. That's a whole nother thing. But no, I have Jenn, who's been like a mother to Ash, my daughter, for 11 years now. And then I have my wife, who's incredible. We call ourselves a nice blended family. We've all tried to help each other out.
That's the young lady downstairs?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we all try to help each other out. We're all friends. I mean, now it's, really hard to look at wedding photos and stuff and seeing some of these people in it.
Danny. He said he did.
But, sorry, I'm a little venti right now. It's been frustrating, this whole thing, and trying to wrap my head around what happened.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So...
Sorry, you can ask me what
That's okay. That's okay. Take your time. I know this is a tough time for you guys right now. So when you would hang out with Steven around here...
Stefan,
sorry.
No,
Steven,
sorry.
Stefan. Then we have a Stefan that works here.
I just need to hear the name difference for myself.
Yeah. So when you and Stefan used to hang out...
He's like, yeah, my name's Steven. He's Stefan. Wait, hold on.
Around here.
I just need to... No,
Steven,
sorry.
Stefan. You would hang out with Steven around here.
Stefan,
sorry.
No,
Steven,
sorry.
Stefan. Then we have a Stefan that works here.
I just need to hear the name difference for myself.
Yeah. So
I don't blame
when you
you,
and
dude.
Stefan used to hang out around here, where were you living at that time?
So we've lived in Williamsburg.
Williamsburg up John Young Parkway?
Yeah, right behind like SeaWorld area over there.
I'll put it on the screen who it is.
I lived in
Dates all in the description, gang. Dates in the description and at the very beginning of the interview.
Okay, let me look at the date.
Anderson. I think when I first met him, that's up in South
March. Wait, hold on.
downtown
This
Anderson
is
Street.
Okay.
That's when I first met him. He never went over there, but I would come down.
3-5.
It is Jenn's first husband. Just for clarification, it's her first husband. It's not Maddie's bio dad. Just so you understand, make sure you understand that.
Jenn and bring Ash over there, and unfortunately I let her sleep over there with Maddie and stuff in the same fucking house, but like she would go down there and visit them, and so I think it's when I first started meeting him. I lived in South Orlando, and then
When was that? Do you remember? Roughly what year?
That was me and Jenn got married in 2015. So that would have been January of 2016 that I think is when I moved into downtown Orlando. And I was there for about just over a year. Yeah. And then
Hey,
moved
Callie
in
Cat.
with my wife's cousin for a few months, and then we moved to Williamsburg. And then we got a house over here in Kissimmee. Southwind. It's off 192, near Medieval Times.
Okay. Yep.
And that's all by
There's
Disney,
houses
guys.
back there that are almost an acre-ish. Yeah. And that's where we lived. I think police came and talked to me the other day when they're still trying to locate her body. And I think I gave them the wrong dates. I moved in 2020 to Colorado. I moved into that house in 2020, and I moved into Colorado in 2022.
Okay.
But I was really frazzled. The thing on the news had just come up with the update, and they had just shown up like the minute that started. And so I'm like trying to watch, they're trying to talk to me, and I got frazzled. So I think I did give incorrect dates on that the other day. But
Yeah, no
I
worries.
moved to that house in 2020, and then to Colorado in 2022. So correction on.
God.
So
Right. So when you lived on all these places, when was Stefan with Jennifer at that point?
He was, as far as I know, they've been pretty much on for most part of the past 7 years, but a little on and off the past few.
Okay.
As far as I
Thank you,
understood, I
Prime.
never
Have you known him to have any kind of mental illnesses or anything like that? That you know?
Jenn always said that he had depression and anxiety, and sometimes he'd be short to temper, but she never mentioned that he got violent, because I would ask her, does he get violent when he gets angry?
No, this is Jennifer's first husband. This isn't Maddie's bio dad.
This is Jen's
And it was
first husband.
conducted
Only
on
husband.
March the 4th. Oh, no, I wanted to. Jennifer's
Somebody can get frustrated, work through it, and versus somebody getting violent, and she never said he got violent. I always asked Maddie, the first few years they were together, I'm like, hey, how is Stefan? Is he treating you nice,
How old was she when they got together?
See here, when me and Jenn split up, she was 4. So she
She was
would have
still-
been,
she was
early
still an
elementary
innocent
school,
little
5 or
kid.
6, but around
Okay, well, yeah, you're right.
She was
Margaret.
still an innocent little kid when he left, Jenn.
Yeah.
And you would have
7
these
years,
conversations
about 6.
when she was in
about
kindergarten, 1, 2,
Yeah,
2nd grade.
Yeah, so she would have been about 6 then when he came into her life, I think. That sounds about right. So yeah, it would have been around like first in their playroom, but it went back and forth. They had separate rooms.
Hey, One-Eyed Blow.
At any point, did you guys like share? I know when kids are young, they sleep with their parents and stuff like that. Did that ever happen with
When I first met Jenn, Maddie slept in the bed with Jenn.
Jenn? Okay.
I wasn't comfortable with that at her age. Unless it was like a nightmare or something like that, then
Good
yeah,
for
of
you.
course my daughter can come and join me in bed if she has a nightmare. But I felt like there's a point that like you need to start letting them sleep on their own and self-soothe at night. So I would always encourage the self-soothe, go to bed on your own. And then after we had divorced, or after we had split up and we were on our own, I had found out she was back to her own bed, or back to.
Yeah, listen, he's weird.
And I know that like that's the way that her mom always did it. I know her mom, like Maddie would always share a bed with her when she was little and stuff up until I know at least beginning of elementary school. I don't know if it ever stopped or when, but it was grandma. She'd just go and cuddle with her at night. She would do it with Jenn all the time. I didn't do that unless it was like a nightmare or something. I remember one time Jenn was just checked out at night and tired, and she was like, here's the kids, and they both laid in bed with me. But
Hi, Cheryl.
Was that common for her to do?
No. I can count on one hand how many times she was like, I like they're crying and I need some space tonight, and she'd go to the living room, watch TV, and just be by herself and just be, all right, cool, the kids are with me, and we'll be in bed and just hang out.
So it sounds like you and Jenn have communicated frequently since you guys split up because of Maddie.
Pretty often, yeah. I always try and check up on Maddie all the time. Our friendship kind of fizzled out a little bit. We kind of talked a little less here and there as my relationship with my current wife grew. Right. And not because of my wife. Like they're actually great friends. It was actually my mother-in-law that thought it was weird and started getting mad and stuff. So we started.
Okay, so he says his wife became friends with Jenn and Stefan as well. And his wife's mom was like, this is weird. So they pulled back. That's weird to me. I mean, great that y'all get along, but if y'all are friends, how the fuck do you not? I mean, I just can't. I wish Maddie would have told her the girl that she looked at as a sister. If that was in fact true.
Started scaling back our friendship for the optics of her family.
What's up, jammers?
Gotcha.
But I would still always check up on Maddie. I talked to her all the time. Whenever Ash was on the phone with her, like I'd pop over the FaceTime and check on her, like, hey, how's it going, and how's school?
How was Jenn? When you talk to Jenn on FaceTime or Maddie or anything like that, what was like their demeanor?
Melissa Rose has just
at any
donated
point
$1.99 using J4J411.
Any kind of demeanor changes between Jennifer or Maddie?
Maddie seemed off for a few years, honestly. And I thought it was just, she's going through changes. It's the teenage years coming. It's the puberty, I remember my daughter going through the depressive stage, right at the end of, elementary school.
Yeah, this interview is from March the 5th, Jay.
That's
so,
not me.
He knows.
That's not me. That's another J. That's just
He
J-A-Y.
already knows that she's been murdered. Again, this is not Maddie's bio dad. This was the guy that Jenn was married to for
I just
a
spilled
couple
pop
of
on my
years
mouse.
between 2014 and 2017 or 18.
But, that was where they started COVID and stuff. So I wasn't sure, like, how much is, like, an equal comparison for a mood change. And to me, like, it seemed normal to, like, my daughter was going through. She went through a massive depression through, middle school. COVID, lots of things going on. So in my head, it was just like, okay, she's going through changes. Just keep talking to her.
Can you imagine how depressed Maddie must have been during COVID? Thank you so much, Lisa Rose, for using the tip jar.
Getting the two of them to hang out as much as they can online. We'll get down their floor, see each other soon. Let's see if we can fly them up. Just trying to get more of the family aspect together, and I thought it was teenage years.
Gotcha. How long? You said that was going on for a few years, you think?
Yeah, she's kind of felt like different to talk to since like late elementary school. I don't know, just she felt
Be
seemed
careful,
different.
potato.
Did Jenn seem different at all?
Jenn doesn't seem different. She's just seemed like she's just.
Bedtime story with Bella says all these adults ignoring red flags with Maddie. How does this happen? Was Stefan really that deceptive?
Do you guys
that
think
people
Stefan was
just
that
waved-
deceptive?
Yes, he was. I'm with it.
It's crazy to me.
What she needs to do with her psychologist to get by, and it feels like her like trying to figure that out with a psychologist is always like an experiment. And I feel like she's trying to figure out what to do to get herself here and to be functioning with her mental health issues, but with all the back and forth with doctors, at least in my opinion, it's just always a game of, okay, try this, and so sometimes she gets a little more checked out as they're trying different meds, and I don't feel
Did
like...
she ever talk to you about her doctors or any kind of different medication?
I know she's been on different medication over the years. I don't know exactly which ones. I know she's tried different things. She's complained about some that have like knocked her out and make her like super tired.
When did she tell you that?
That she has meds like that. Geez, I've known her for a long time, and she's like gone through a lot of back and forth, with meds. I know I can't pinpoint a specific time period on which one.
Your relationship with her?
No, the mental health stuff.
That's the theme with kids. I'm not talking about the knockout pills for Maddie.
He's making a pretty good point here that they're really focusing on what Jenn took, not what they gave Maddie, but what Jenn was on. It's interesting.
They're hyper
accumulate more during my relationship with her, and that's when I was trying to get her into more therapy and stuff. The understanding where she was with her mental health took some time with psychologists and therapists to figure out, okay, these are her conditions, this is how we can start figuring out certain meds that may work in some capacity. But that was after I had been there. The meds started to get figured out by doctors. It was more therapy when I was still in the house, if that makes sense.
Did she ever...
It was slick enough not to get busted, sisters. They're in the cool kind, and we've harmed that.
Talk about Jenn now. Did she ever talk to you about more recently that any medication has changed or anything like that would like offset her? Or some people, when they change their medication,
I know
everything just changes.
The only thing I know that she said about her medication recently is there's a nighttime one that just knocks her out, so she takes that one at night.
When did she tell you that?
Must be when I've been recently talking to her about this the past few weeks, like this, or it's happened all week ago. So we saw it online on Monday. Yeah.
So she never mentioned that prior to...
Well, I haven't talked about her meds in a while.
Okay.
This is just recently, because I was like, all right, so what's going on? Like, where's your head been? Like, how much do you remember right now, like, with your meds? And
what did she tell you happened? Right, from, like, the day that Maddie went missing, when did you first hear about it?
My wife saw it online. I'm not on social media, but she saw it immediately. And so I start calling, and anybody I know in Florida, I just say, please send it. Everybody. And then I was like, all right, everybody outside of Florida, if you know somebody in Florida, send it. And I was just on blow up, just anybody I can contact.
Okay, I just caught something. He met Jenn on a dating app, but he doesn't have social media. He's another one. I don't have Facebook, so I'm not on there.
Contact to share the information online she was missing.
When the first time you talked to Jenn, what did she say?
I talked to Jenn. It was
okay,
either that I think it was the next day. I think it was Tuesday. I was finally able to get a hold of her, and I was trying to talk to her. I was trying to figure what happened, and she had told me. Sorry, I'm trying to remember.
That's okay.
She had told me that Maddie was missing and that Stefan had taken her to the school but he had made a bunch of stupid mistakes, and he accidentally deleted his phone, and what the other thing he said, and he forgot his phone, and Maddie forgot his phone, which didn't surprise me. My daughter forgets her phone all the time, but like him not having his phone, I felt was shocking, because I remember him I always saw him with his phone. He was always on Reddit. He was always typing away at something.
I'm surprised at these people that say their kids always forget their phones. My kids never forget their fucking phones. I raised 3 of them. And this was in the age of Blackberries. Why do all these people say these kids forget their phones all the time? Do y'all's kids forget their phones?
Maddie, like, that didn't surprise me. Like, a teenager forgetting their phone. And so, like, I call them idiots, you know? Like, wait, why the fuck would you do that? Like, now you look more guilty. Like, I thought he was innocent. Like, I thought it was somebody that was protecting Maddie.
Wait.
You know, I thought that they were both, you know, looking out for her.
Now you look more guilty? So he thought they looked guilty before?
And now somebody that was protecting, you know? Like, wait, why the fuck would you do that? Like, now you look more guilty. Like, I thought he was innocent. Like, I thought it was somebody that was protecting Maddie.
You didn't think he was protecting Maddie. Now you look more guilty. Yikes.
And so, like, I call them idiots, you know? Like, wait, why the fuck would you do that? Like, now you look more guilty. Like, I thought he was innocent. Like, I thought it was somebody that was protecting Maddie. You know, I thought that they were both, you know, looking out for her. And now I just don't know what to think anymore, you know? But...
Now, was this talking to Jenn over the phone or text message? Or
I think this was a phone call I had with them. I think I called, I finally, like, gotten a hold of her because I wanted to hear her voice, to hear her. She sounded like when she said these things, you know?
Now, when you were talking to her over the phone, like you said, you're hearing her voice saying these things. What she was saying, was that kind of like her normal?
Danny K45 wants to know if we'll ever see the toxicology report. I wish I could say yes, but I highly doubt it unless it goes to trial. Now it's really weird that, you know, Dan into and say, I don't know why everything that we've literally doing that. That I own receipts.
Describe it.
It sounded like anxious Jenn. Like, it sounded like something's wrong, and she couldn't wrap her head around it. Like sometimes she has to take her meds, but you can still, like, tell in her tone sometimes, like, how she is. And like, I could tell she was a little muted, probably from meds she had to take, but I could tell, like, her anxiety was at 100. If you know, like, even with some mutes, like, once you know a person, you can kind of tell, like, some of their tells a little bit.
Mutes?
Like, just like their pace and their talking. It's like, I don't know.
With mutes? Is that what he said? Yeah, I'm with y'all.
You're still, like,
hey, Kentucky Cooter.
And, like, I could tell she was like that. He was very quiet. Very quiet.
So you talked to him as well?
I was on speaker in the car.
Okay.
And he was there at the time, and I had...
This is after they found out Maddie was missing.
So, like, asked him, but he, like, really didn't say anything. She kept just, like...
What did he say?
He was like, yeah, she was there, and I feel so guilty, and I can't believe that I left my phone. I was like, well, why the fuck would you do that? Like, it's stupid. Like, have your phone, like, wherever you go. Like, it's suspicious immediately. Like if you don't have your phone as an adult. Like, and he was like, yeah. And then I actually reset it. Like, what the fuck, dude? And that's really all he mentioned. And then Jenn, like, reset the same thing and told me that he had dropped her off, and
hey, Vanessa.
She thought that she had woken up at like 8:20 in the morning, and then Sailor was barking to go to the bathroom or needed to go to the bathroom, so she started to get up.
Okay, can we talk about the dog name for a second? Sailor Moon. You guys know who Sailor Moon is? The anime thing? Well, grossly enough, they have Sailor Moon Prawn. And they named the dog Sailor. I just... bleh.
said no, or needed to go to the bathroom, so she started to get up. But he said, no, I got it. And he was like, yeah, I was trying to let you rest.
Me too, plant.
And then he went and took the dog out, and then came back and said, that, oh, don't worry, I'm taking Maddie to school, and then let her keep resting because she was like going through training at a new job, and she was just really tired, and that she had called him up to come help with taking her to school and helping to get the dog and Maddie's situated so she can balance the new job she just started. Sorry, I'm trying to remember all the pieces she told me in all that conversation, so it's coming out in random order. What else did she say?
But she told you that she was sleeping, and whatever time it was when she heard the dog barking, she was going to get up to take the dog out, and then, but Stefan took the dog out himself?
Yeah, and Stefan took the dog out himself and told her, no, it's okay, you're tired, don't worry about it. And so she went back to sleep.
Okay. Did she ever mention going the day prior?
This video was on March the 5th for being for stickers.
Did Jenn tell you why she wasn't there?
Listen,
Had a birthday party.
Tips.
this
Thank
is
you
about
all
the
so
birthday
much for
party.
supporting the channel.
Maddie had a birthday party
Yeah.
with Grandma.
Yeah.
Okay. Did Jenn tell you why she wasn't there?
Hi, Victoria.
I understand it from her that she was just so tired from everything from work, and I'll admit, going to her family functions could be a little bit overload. She has a lot of family.
Gotcha, okay.
They're very loving. They're very loving people. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love her family to death. Like, her mom, Yolanda, and her dad, Juan, even after me and Jen split. So, like, love them to death. But sometimes they're overload. And with all her anxiety, sometimes she just can't handle them for a long period of time. So she'll go and do stuff with Maddie, for her birthday. It's happened sometimes. She's gone and done her own thing on a Saturday, and her mom wants to do a big event on a Sunday, and it's just overload
Hey,
for
go on,
her.
girl.
Got it. Okay.
Like, she'll still do stuff with Maddie. It's just sometimes she can't handle the full people, and that would be my guess. I haven't asked her specifically, like, the whole weekend sour, like, ask her about why she didn't go, Maybe I could have asked her. I should have asked her, but...
Was Stefan at the party?
I doubt it.
Okay.
Yolanda did not like Stefan.
Yolanda is Jen's mom.
Jen's mom.
Okay.
She didn't
Any
like
idea why?
I want to know why now. I heard that like once over the years that she was a big fan of him, and I was like, oh, maybe it's just she didn't like a boyfriend, just you need time to warm up to him type of deal, and that was it. And now I'm here.
Hey, Sarah. Where are you heading off to, Sarah?
All the
You getting in
information
trouble?
is in the description, gang.
Susan, thank you so much for your cash app.
This
Appreciate
interview
you,
was-
girl.
That I missed because I don't
Really
want to miss
appreciate you.
another
Thank
person.
you, Susan.
Somebody else around my daughter. I want to know what traits you see that I couldn't.
So Maddie makes it back to the house. I'll say condo, townhome, whatever it may be.
Yeah, the unit.
At some point that evening, Sunday evening, Stefan comes home because Jenn asked him to come here to help because she's tired because of the new job.
That's the way I understand it. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of what the dynamic was? There's sleeping arrangements between Jenn, Maddie, or Stefan throughout the years?
Nice, Cricket.
I honestly have been trying to figure that out myself. I understood that Maddie slept with Jenn, and they had one room for a while, so my guess is they all slept in the same bed for a little while. I don't know when, how long, or any of that. Like, that's always bothered me. Maddie sleeping not in her own bed, starting elementary school, like, that to me is just like something a kid needs to do to self-soothe and grow to be individual and not have to rely on another person always being there. So that's always bothered me, and I've tried asking Jenn about that over years and trying to encourage her, and it's just an argument. It's just a case that it's like I'm never going to win, so why am I to keep poking at something?
Did Jenn ever mention to you that she would need to get some sleep, so Maddie would either sleep in her room or sleep in somebody else's room or anything like that?
That happened during our relationship, but it wasn't another room. It was just like, oh, can we put the kids at my mom's tonight so we can have a night off?
Gotcha. Okay.
Because she would just need, like, can we just have some time to breathe and need space away from the kids? Like, okay, let's see, you know, we can do that. And we tried
time to
put them out,
breathe.
but it was different when I was there. Like, nobody slept in the bed with us, unless it was a nightmare. Like, that was my condition. And if she wanted space, then we would coordinate stuff with her family to go watch him.
I don't know if
Maddie ever talk about him, you know, specifically. Did she ever say anything positive or negative? But wanted to. Was there at any point in time she wanted to specifically talk about him, like in any way? Did you ever see a mood change? And
her dad Juan owns the condo, and they were paying him rent. Is my mic super low? Let me know, guys. I feel like it is. Is that better? Is that better? Fuck, I don't know. Let me know. I feel like it's low.
So talking about it, and she was like, yeah, like the past couple years, she's been like, they almost like stopped playing games because Maddie was just like destroying her stuff on Minecraft, and it was frustrating my daughter, and she was like, I'm done playing with her. And then I guess like a few months ago, she just started playing nice and started playing better. It's like, I'm trying to think about this with the timeline. I'm trying to remember. I was like, is this when Jenn kicked Stefan out of the house?
When was that?
Okay, so he's saying Maddie was acting better and was less depressed acting after Stefan moved out of the house. I think he's shaking because they know that Maddie's deceased. Thanks, guys. They know that she's deceased. So he's freaking out. I mean, he's sitting in front of investigators. This involves CP. I mean, it could be more. Hey, Siobhan.
I'm trying to remember when they separated. I'm trying to figure that date. Was that a few months ago? Is that when Maddie started lightening up and started feeling better and stopped being destructive to everybody around her?
No, he's not a therapist. He's into like a plumbing. Remember correctly?
He's a
You know, after
plumber.
being gone for a few months, and then this happened, and
It is
in
Mr.
the last couple of months, she just noticed a little bit of a demeanor change.
yeah, she was playing a little better online, and she was acting a little nicer.
How did Maddie communicate?
They text every day.
Like text message through the phone, Snapchat, IG?
No, my daughter doesn't have Instagram. She has Discord.
What's her name on Discord?
I'd have to look it up. Give me a second. If I have service in here. I'm sure you'll see it on Maddie's as well.
I don't like how schools have kids on Discord.
She was online, was able to pop up.
Horrible.
So, well, one of the reasons Hayes is from my daughter.
Thank you guys for the hurricane relief. Cynthia, thank you for your cash app.
Yeah,
Appreciate you guys.
Maddie was starting to act up.
Do you know if anybody else communicated with Maddie through Discord, like Jenn, Stefan, any of Jenn's family or anything like that?
But they typically just play online.
No, Stefan uses Discord?
I'm sure he does. I don't know what it is, but it wouldn't surprise if he did. I know he used Reddit. Wouldn't surprise me he had multiple accounts and how often he was on it type deal.
Like
Stefan's Reddit.
I know very limited stuff about Reddit, so I know Reddit is like.
This was pretty interesting. So, perk up and listen up to this. You know,
Listen
some
up.
of you may have already knew about it, but I didn't. But it's pretty interesting.
Forums that you can look at stuff or whatever. Any idea like what kind of forums he would be part of?
I only know now because his username's been put online, and I've looked through it. I didn't know beforehand.
What's his username?
Give me 1 second. I'll pull it up for you. Yeah, there's some. He's been on recently on Ask Teens over the past month. I saw.
He's been on Ask Teens over the past month.
Sorry, I've had a lot of text messages recently.
That's okay.
Yeah, his username is Sustanet or Sustanet, however you wants to say it.
You got it.
This is Jenn's husband.
Thanks,
Is
Sin.
his username on Reddit?
You're so
At least his
sweet.
public one. I'm still trying to see if I can have friends find any alternates that he has. Because most consistent Reddit users have at least 2 or 3.
Most consistent Reddit users have 2 or 3 usernames. Hey, CE No. I gotta hit you on Discord. I'll hit you up after this live, CEO. CE No. My youngest slept with me till 7, and my biggest fear is a single mom where my girl's being harmed like this. Do I know Seth's? No. He doesn't have social media, so he's not on there. It is Nash. But they think it's going to be put off because of the death penalty. But as of right now, it is.
At least in my experience. I'm sure you guys do way more than me, so you guys may know more about that. But
so if that's his username, you can see what forums he's part of.
you can see the ones he's posted in, just like all the places he's made comments and stuff. He has like 6.5 years of history, it looks like. The past month, like it's all like gaming stuff. You can see the progression over time. Like I saw a picture of him 6 years ago at my house playing tabletop games, like a picture of the board that we were playing on, like adult board games and guns, and then Nerf guns and Tamagotchi.
Nerf guns? Is that normal? Kels, thank you so much for your PayPal. I appreciate that. Woo, 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 woo. Oh, I forgot I had my soundboard. You guys, thank you. Now pray that my roof stands up to this.
And just more childish stuff. You can see the way he talks starts to change online. There's just more childish stuff. You can see the way he talks starts to change online. There's more emojis. His gender starts to become more generic and stuff. It's like you can see like there's a warp in the way he acts online over these. It's
Generic
weird, like seeing
gender?
this change, and then now it's all. And then like the past month, you can see like as teens.
As teens, porn as teens?
No, it's just like teens can ask questions about life, and there was even one. Where is it? Yeah, if you go through this, I'm sure you guys have another team who probably does all the IT stuff, or I don't know. Yeah, there was one that was a girl was asking about being pregnant and what to do, and he responded on it, and it freaked me the fuck out.
Yeah, listen to this one right here.
Yeah, I saw that early on. It was disturbing. CEO. Hi, Anid. Shaniqua says not normal.
You're what the French call
Like this, I'm pregnant, I don't know what to do. And him responding.
Sorry, I gotta zoom in.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Greatest.
Oh, this is the Reddit thing.
I want to go back a little bit.
Yeah.
When you were with Jenn.
Mm-hmm.
I know you had said back then she wasn't on medication for her mental health, and that was kind of building up.
Yeah, not that I recall her being on meds.
Was Maddie on any medication back then?
No, not that I recall.
No.
I think the only person on meds was my dog.
So did y'all catch that?
No. What'd I miss, Eric?
There's a girl. I didn't even know this stuff existed until today. But I'm not on Reddit. I'm not on all the
Oh,
other
he's talking about the Reddit post.
platforms. I guess.
So there was a girl from the Ask Teen Reddit. And they said, I'm pregnant. I don't know what to do. And he gave them advice. YouTube is social media. I don't know if games would be considered social media necessarily. Wait, hold on. I just got to update here. Pinellas County local state of emergency comes with major warnings ahead of Helene. Emergency management leaders said Pinellas County could see more storm surge than it's ever seen before. Our Max Defender 8 meteorologists are projecting the storm surge could be 5 to 8 feet. God almighty.
The thing on Reddit where it's called Ask Teens. It mentioned, and Stefan responds.
Listen, Stefan responds.
And if you'll give me just a second.
Oh, you don't have it handy? I forgot what he said.
Sent it to me. Should have seen it. I'll pull it up.
I think you've got a Ouija board down your pants. You're gonna pull
what does
that
it
out?
show up? Because I've got no. I
don't.
You don't.
He couldn't find
Do
it.
you know if she's been diagnosed with anything?
I heard she was previously diagnosed with autism, but
Okay.
I thought I also heard she was retested, and they said she only had autistic traits, but is not autistic.
Traits?
You know when that would have
That was
been?
their bullshit. Feeding him their bullshit.
Within the past few years. I think Jenn told me when I talked to her earlier this month in February that that's when she told me. I think that's when she told me that she wasn't showing, or she only had traits, and she was no longer diagnosed. It was ADD. Oh, I think she had ADD.
Okay.
So the malfunction was I was trying to put it. So
Okay, here's the post.
Or remove that. Thank you so much for the
Oh,
$1.99.
fuck. Okay,
Super
here's what he
Sticker
said.
Holly and
So here's the post. I'm pregnant and I don't know what to do. Sustanet, which is Stefan Stern, says, like it or not, this is something you may need some help with. You may be scared or embarrassed to talk to a trusted friend or family member, but it's probably the right thing to do. You need to get ahead of this. You need a game plan. You need support. Yeah, I'm evacuating. And yes, I'll try to stream. I did last time as well. Hey, Northern Beans. Yep, I will definitely try to stream. Huh. Jesus, what a build-up to us.
supporting the channel. But this is
Disturbing,
without
man.
numbnuts to his life game husband. And, you know, he came up, handle was.
Thank you,
Man, we're
Barbara.
back to the man.
Sorry, there's so many kids.
Overload.
I have so many nieces and nephews and cousins, and it's so many kids to keep track of. I have to call my daughter to see if she remembers, because I know they would talk about medications.
But when
and
you
stuff.
guys were together, you don't specifically remember her being on medication.
Not that I recall, other than like when she was sick type meds.
Right. Okay.
No.
How was
That's not her body. No.
your and Maddie's relationship? Was
What
she
is
pretty
that?
outgoing with you? Was she more
She
reserved?
was so bubbly.
I thought that's what it was.
I always describe she was a Sour Patch Kid. She was always a little sour before she was sweet, but you have to get through that little bit of sour with her, that little bit of attitude. Like every picture of her you see, like she was a little hip hop. She was just like, it's always a little.
What?
She had like just her.
Going with you? Was she
Not her body. No.
Okay,
your
this
and
is
Maddie's
weird.
relationship? Was she pretty outgoing with you? Was she more
She
reserved?
was so bubbly. She was.
Thanks, Kendra.
I always describe she was a Sour Patch Kid. She was always a little sour before she was sweet, but you have to get through that little bit of sour with her, that little bit of attitude. Like every picture of her you see, like she was a little hip hop. She was just like, it's always a little. She had like this face too. She could stare across her like, "What are you doing? Do you have ice cream? I know you have ice cream."
Oh, he's
like,
talking about
she's got this way
Jenn.
about her. She could like pierce into you and make you question.
He's talking about Jenn. He's talking about Jenn. Let me just correct that. I thought he was talking about Maddie. He's talking about Jenn. He's talking about Jenn when he dated her. It sounds like he really liked her. I mean, he married her, but he also left her. But it sounds like. Wait, did he say Maddie?
No.
Hold on.
That's
How was she? Was she more reserved?
no.
Your and Maddie's relationship, was she pretty outgoing with you?
Oh my God, it is Maddie.
Did I ask them to do that?
Come on. I thought that was Jenn. Thank you, Crimes. You have FEMA. You mobilize with crews in FEMA. It's possible Cat 4, but saying now at Cat 3. I'm working doubles for dispatch. Thank you for what you do. No. It is Maddie. Holy shiz. I thought that was about Jenn. Ooh. Okay, let's listen to that again.
Was she more
She
reserved?
was so bubbly. I always describe she was a Sour Patch Kid. She was always a little sour before she was sweet. But you have to get through that little bit of sour with her, that little bit of attitude. Like every picture of her you see, like she was a little hip hop. She was just like, it's always a little she had like this face too. She could stare across her like, what are you doing? Do you have ice cream? I know you have ice cream. Like she's had this way about her. She could like pierce into you and make you question what you're doing for a second. Like, hold on, what? Oh, okay, I'll share with you, kid. You're cute, you know? And
no, I think that's weird. I don't think it's dirty. I just think it's weird. I hope not, Lovey. I've got 2 nights. Oh, no, I didn't. I got 1 night, didn't I? I got 2 nights last time.
she was a brilliant kid, and she was smart in many ways, bullheaded and all the rest.
Did she,
I wish. When he first came in the picture for the first like couple years, I remember I asked her all the time because I lived here in Florida. I was like, hey, how is he? How's Stefan? Like, is he treating you nice? Like, is he good to your mom? Like, just want to check on him. And
Lindsay, where are
I
you?
can go back if you need to look at any of
Nah,
this.
that's fine.
But yeah.
do you know if she was pretty open with your daughter?
I feel like she was. I thought she was. I was hoping that the two of them had each other, so if anything ever happened, then they know they could talk to the other, and then somehow it would get to one of us parents so we could navigate it. Like, that was my goal, was them to be sisters. You know, to have the other person always confide in that's somewhere else. So, you know, like, hey, they're not in the same shit you're in. They can help you get out if something's wrong. And that's what I always wanted them to have.
I think it's a little bit disturbing. I'm not saying he's done anything, but I just side-eye anybody that was friends with Stefan. And I shouldn't do that. I don't know. It just doesn't feel good, you know?
But
Now, have you asked your daughter if she's had these type of conversations with Maddie back then?
I've asked my daughter if, like, semi-pointed questions without being too direct on any of this stuff. Just like, you know, like I said before, like, did Stefan ever try and, you know, hang out with you two one-on-one? Did Maddie ever talk about him specifically? But nothing.
People have
like, if I had gotten
questioned-
anything, I would have called you guys. Like, I want anybody responsible for this, to have the justice served.
I can't remember what I just freaking said. Yes, that's what it is. It's the association, Cricket. Like, if he was never friends with Stefan, I would feel different. But then again, I interviewed someone who was friends with Stefan, and he doesn't do that. I mean, Stefan could have put on a good act, but then again, he didn't fool Grandma. He didn't fool Yolanda.
No matter who it is, I want them to be taken care of.
How would you describe Jennifer and Maddie's relationship?
They were really close. They were really loving.
What?
Jenn sometimes could be distant depending on where she was at with her mental state, but she was always there for Maddie. Sometimes she would I don't know, check out's the right word, but she said she just would be an overload, and she would just ask her mom to take care of Maddie.
Well,
but she really did love Maddie.
there is something that bothered me is that he has a daughter, and then when they asked him like where his daughter's mom is, he says, and don't quote me, but he says something along the lines of that's a whole nother mess. Like he doesn't know where she is. So I don't know about that.
And she really did care about her and really tried to take care of them. At least I thought. I just think she's just had so many mental issues that it caused lapses that caused this. If that makes any sense.
This is a difficult question, but it has to be asked, and it's asked of other people as well. Do you think Jenn had anything to do, or do you think she had knowledge of what was happening to Maddie?
Hey, Trix.
I've been trying to ask myself that ever since I found out Stefan was arrested, and I thought that he was, somebody that was there to protect Maddie. And honestly, I think she could have made enough, I don't say stupid decisions, but wrong decisions with timing meds and things like that this kind of stuff could have happened. But I don't think there's any way she would have deliberately known, or if she had known, wouldn't have tried to get her out, of that situation. Like, she has family she can go to. She has friends like me and other places that she knows she can go to another state to escape someone. I felt like if she really felt like she was a danger, she would have gotten out.
Going, who do you think she would confide in?
Because everybody needs someone like that.
How was your dog? I know when this was all first going down and Stefan got arrested, that you and Jenn had conversations about securing an attorney for him and stuff like that.
I thought he was innocent. And I was hoping that, okay, we can get this guy cleared so we can find the right person. Then that way it will help everything run smoother. So let's get all the ducks in a row. Let's get him. And like, I remember him on the phone. He was like, I'm on my phone. I was like, don't worry about the phone. Like, they have it. It's there. So we can buy you another one. It's not a big deal. What you need to do is let them go through it. Do what they need to do so we know you're clear. And then
we can buy you another one.
They could find who this really was.
A little kid.
That's what, because I thought that he was there to protect her too.
But he was asking for his phone. They say why?
I think he meant something like he wanted to check his packages. Like, he was always obsessed with buying shit. Always has about buying shit. I didn't quite understand that. Like, it threw me off, and I should have questioned it more in that moment when he said it, but I was just in such a frazzle, just like, no, we got to find out who did this. Like, if you're not it, let's get you a lawyer so we can make sure everything is done correctly, and then they can move on to find whoever that is. And
let's get you a lawyer. Ugh. Sold out. I'm with you. I'm on the same page.
then, like, once I found it was him, it was just like, I fucking defended this guy. I thought that he was there for her. Like, I would not have tried to defend this guy if I knew in any way, shape, or form that he was in any way culpable.
The cop's like, does that sound convincing? Listen.
I feel like if form that he was in any way culpable. I feel like an idiot.
What did that change for you?
Which,
where you went from, hey, they might have the wrong guy, let's get him an attorney, to F this guy.
Once I found out that they found all the stuff on his phone. Okay. Once that came out, I'm like, what the I was surprised.
How did you hear about?
Wait a minute. You knew he got arrested, but you didn't know they found stuff on his phone? This guy's lying. That's a lie. How could you not know there was... What? He got arrested for the stuff that was on his phone. So you knew he was arrested, and you had to know what for, because he was arrested. Because he wasn't arrested for the unaliving until 2 months later. Like in April. And he offered to get a lawyer.
Is it through?
Okay. Once I found out that they found all the stuff on his phone. once that came out, I'm like, what the like, I was surprised.
How
like,
did you hear about, was it through the media or was it through Jenn?
Karen Weiss asked online, Mom and Dad, we don't really hear that gang getting money.
a combination of
Nobody knows.
a combination of they both about came in at the same time.
He heard it on the news and from Jenn, but he didn't know that he had pictures. So he offered up a lawyer. Lies. Hey, Newfie, get a girl up there in Canada.
When I think Jenn was in question at that time, I wasn't able to talk to her for too much around then.
No, he just said he heard it from the media and Jenn.
No, I think she had messaged me before I saw it on the media that he was.
Well, yeah, yeah, you're right, man.
Was told about it.
Do you think it was genuine? Her being in shock?
I can never read way through text. Texts are emotionless. It's.
Yep.
He can't tell if she's upset through text. Texts are emotionless. No, dude, you sound emotionless. Freaking Bueller. Can we get a Bueller up in the house? Fuck. I mean, I'm not trying to bash the dude, but shit. I haven't heard much emotion other than nervous. Have you guys?
Bueller. Bueller.
Jeez, oh Pete.
Bueller.
Like, I can try and say I can read an emotion.
Yeah, that's kind of the goal.
The time, like in person, it's like, that's why I need to see people's faces. I need to hear their voice, see their pace to get a better idea. A text is just words on a page. But she just seemed to.
Yes, he does, Roxy.
This is Jenn's husband from years ago.
Bueller.
And I was like, do it. Like, whatever if he committed a crime and they're asking you to press the charges, do it. And yes, she had told me before I saw on the news, because she was asking me, like, yes, press the charges, do it. Like, don't question yourself right now. Whatever. And she was trying to figure out.
Years ago.
She was trying to figure out if she should press charges?
And she was trying to figure out, like, what degree should this guy be punished. And I was like, do it. Like, whatever if he committed a crime and they're asking you to press the charges, do it.
It wasn't Jenn's choice. The case is the state of Florida against Stephen Stearns. Have a good night, Snazzy.
And I was like, do it. Like, whatever. And she was trying to figure out, like, what degree should this guy be punished. And I was like, do it. Like, whatever if he committed a crime and they're asking you to press the charges, do it. And yes, she had told me before I saw on the news, because she was asking me, like, yes, press the charges, do it. Like, don't question yourself right now. He committed a crime. You have to press the charges.
Okay, so he's telling Jenn, you have to press charges. But we need to get him a lawyer? What? Do we need to restart the freaking poll? Because I don't believe this guy now. Oh, you need to press charges. You need to press charges. No, she was already found. This was March 5th. Did they have like open relationships or what? But why does he want her to press charges and then he's going to get him a damn lawyer? What's up, Darcy?
Just do it. Like, don't question yourself right now. He committed a crime. You let them press the charges. You let the police do what they need to do. So yeah, I did find out before the news.
Did Jenn ever tell you about looking for Maddie or anything like that?
I asked Monday and Tuesday numerous times, because I have family in the area and friends in the area that are all willing to come out and help search. And I kept asking. I was like, I can fly out. When can I come out? And she was saying nothing's working.
Teresa says she hasn't heard about.
We'll redo it.
Jennifer's parents. We have on the.
They aren't searching organized yet. When I tried to talk to family members, they didn't have anything organized yet. And then eventually I saw that, I think it was Orange County requested that nobody be searching that area, because my guess is they don't want people disturbing areas they want to investigate.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I need to wait. I can't go and help search. And that was I remember I kept asking the first few days, like, can we come out and search? I have family members can help search. Like, are there any organized parties that are happening? And,
That's good.
It only took you guys like it only took you guys like 30 minutes to get like a fucking feel. I love it. Women, we have the best. We have the best gut instinct. We need to learn to listen to it and follow it and not be afraid to preach it.
Seemed
And Jinxie?
in utter shock, and she couldn't wrap her head around it.
You seem like you lived in Kissimmee for a little bit, or Kissimmee, Orlando area for a little bit.
Yep.
Ever live in St. Cloud or anything like that?
No.
Does Jenn or Stefan have any connections to St. Cloud that you know of?
Not that I know of.
I know you've been gone for a little bit, but
The only thing I know that might be down, because we were trying to look up stuff in the area when they're trying to find the bodies, we found there's a Warhammer store down there. I know he was really into Warhammer. Mm-hmm. That's in a very expensive game. So I don't know if he's...
He was really into Warhammer. Like, that is really an expensive game. I can't... What do they call these guys? What's the nickname for these... They're not... Are they millennials? It's like this... They're like this certain group of 30-somethings. Not all, but there's a certain group of 30-somethings who grew up on Yu-Gi-Oh! And all that. Maybe even late 30s, early 40s now, because I'm fucking old and I forget. But there's a certain group of guys who would, you know, play that fucking game, those games, and now they're adults. And the ones that still play them are still out there, but there's ones that used to play it and don't. You know what I'm saying? It's beyond dorks, though. Like, dorks grow up and they get a job and, you know, they kind of grow out of that shit. But, like, these guys don't. I don't know what you call them, but anyways. Spinster, I don't know, the ones with the fucking tapered leg suits that are tight with the shoes that are like, you know, I don't know. You know what I'm talking, not losers. Soy boys, is that a name for, I don't know. Probably Candy, something like that. Snowflakes. Bad news. I don't know.
Familiar with that store. That's the only thing that I can think of. It. I don't know personally that he went there. It was just a guess that we were trying to look to see if something was associated with them.
No, I haven't played Jenn's interview.
Oh, I thought he was going to say. I thought he was going to say Warhammer.
Did he ever disclose anything to you?
They're just
maybe
like
not specifically
weak.
about
I don't know.
Maddie
There's
or
just a
anything,
certain
but being into certain things.
No, I was trying to think too if there's anything about sex we ever talked about or relationships or anything like that. The only thing I ever heard is from other.
I've never even heard of Warhammer. Oh,
You think it's just secondhand something I heard.
I've never heard of that.
And you heard this when?
Recently.
Like when this is going on or
like
prior to?
Like when this is going on. Okay. I've heard this from people.
Hipsters, that's it.
I didn't know this beforehand. This is all, yeah.
When was the last time you talked to Jenn?
A lot for somebody who's guilty. I anybody that hurt Maddie in any capacity, I want you to please do your job. Like, ask me anything you need to know.
Do you think
talked to Jenn?
And this is all, yeah.
When was the last time you talked to Jenn?
A lot for somebody who's guilty. Anybody that hurt Maddie in any capacity, I want you to please do your job. Like, ask me anything you need to know.
Do you think Jenn had anything to do with it?
I don't think so. Okay. I don't think so. I think she's just
Thank you,
gone through a
Siobhan.
lot, and because of her mental health, it just caused lapses that ended up with this.
Do you think Stefan would take advantage of Jenn because of her mental health? Like, was her mental health diminishing? Well, you said it was kind of diminishing when you guys were together. That's one of the reasons you possibly split. Do you think when Stefan got together with her,
This is the ex-husband.
she continued to degress or progress with her mental health? Or
It seemed to keep degressing, and not a psychologist. I don't know why that happens. You know, I try and look stuff up, but I'm an armchair expert. So, you know, it seems like mental health, you know, gets worse in your 30s. You know, maybe it's that. Maybe it's, but I'm not a psychologist. I have no idea.
You're right.
I'm just a plumber who
So
loves a lot of people. Not yet. Trying to build a company. We're almost breaking even.
How would you describe her emotions on a normal basis?
Jenn or Maddie? Jenn?
Jenn.
She kind of seems a little muted most days. A lot's happened to her. A lot of things have happened to her. That's been hard for.
No, this was after Maddie was found.
To live with. And sometimes she gets excited about things, you know. She definitely gets sad about things. She doesn't seem as outward with her emotions. You have to like look at her, but you can see like inside, like sometimes she's torn and she's damaged. But the medications make it so you can't see it. Like she doesn't show it as much as like another person would sometimes. But like when you know her, you can see it inside of her. You can see how destroyed she is.
You can see how destroyed Jenn. He's really sticking up for Jenn.
See how anxious she is. You know, she sometimes looks calm. And it's just one of those things, like, once you know somebody for so long, like, you can tell some stuff about them. But
do you think her reactions have been genuine?
And
I think so. I think she's just, like, really medicating herself right now to get through it. And therefore, she's really seeming really numb right now. But
excuses.
Yeah, I keep seeing her.
I mean, listen, I'm not even going to sit here and lie to all 2,500 of 8 hours.
Awesome.
And it sounds like whatever this 5 minutes of her taking it, I'm a little jealous of that.
I feel legitimate, but I don't know if it's my own personal involvement with Maddie and my love for her that I don't think anybody else of that could have that capability of not loving Maddie. You know, maybe it's my own.
I'm not going to try to say, I'll just call you Yvette because I'm afraid I will butcher your first one, but yeah, night.
My heart doesn't tell me that, but again, not a professional.
I know we touched on it a little bit, but have you known any medications that Maddie's on?
After we were talking about it, I think she was diagnosed with ADD and may have been on ADD med, but
you know what it seems like? It seems like
I can't like swear.
Seems like Jenn is a lot like Seth, where they, you know, make everything about them. Everything has to center around them. If they can't function, someone's got to be there to pick up the slack. I can't do it. I can't get out of bed. I mean, fucking A. I get that mental health is real. But if there's something wrong with the mom and you have to get your daughter out of the situation and you leave that little girl behind and you don't like call the grandmother and say, look, you know, I got to get my kid out of here, but Maddie's not safe there either. I mean, why would you just protect your own? At least say something. He's like, I figured she was in good hands. No, you didn't, because that's why you left. This guy has lied throughout this entire interview. You know?
Bing bang.
Anders, don't be gross. You know I can't let that gross shit fly in here. Come on now.
Under any oath, I know she was on meds.
But you did say that medication that, you know, Jenn's been taking has caused her to go into a deep sleep or something like that, or...
Yeah, I think sometimes, like, I don't know exactly which meds will knock her out, but I know I've been on meds before that make me completely knock out and, you know, pass out for the night and use the time for bedtime just to make sure, you know, like, after all the parenting hours are done, you know, got to take it then. And I don't know which one she's been on and when, but I've been on medications like that for depression before. And
oh, my God.
Sometimes they just knock you out. Like, you can't help the medication.
That's also a good point. Yours truly says that just not like. not bad, and
You try and work with the doctor so you can get better. And
How long are you staying down here for?
I'm
Correct,
my
Crystal.
wife and daughter are going to be flying back on Thursday.
That's true, Jason. Yeah.
I'm going to help clear out some of the apartment on Thursday. I'll be flying on Friday. If you guys need to talk to me, have my phone number. Let me know. If there's anything you want me to ask my daughter, I really don't want her to get brought in to get questions.
Understandable.
Like, I don't want her to get too scarred. But if you guys have questions you would like me to ask her, and I can try to approach her in a soft way, I'd be happy to help in any way I can. I just want to make sure I'm not scarring her anymore.
Let me ask you this. Does your daughter, does she see any kind of therapist or anything like that on a regular basis?
Just before all this, we got her.
Just before all this? Whoops. What happened, Eric?
I hope so, Melanie Pillar, who asked, will we ever hear the toxicology? Just like that. 2020. Be subscribe.
We're Morris, Detective Smallwood, and we're going to be calling Tyler.
Okay, wait. That's the
President
end
myself,
of him.
Detective Morris, Detective Smallwood.
All right, now we're moving into Tyler. All right, let me change the screen. So that was the end of this Stephen. Stephen Young is his name, Jen's ex-husband, the only man she ever married. And let's see the results of that. Do you trust him? No, 58%. Unsure, 29%. And yes, 12%. Wow. That changed a lot. All right, so now we're getting into Maddie's dad, Tyler. Yeah, I know they really like pretending her, don't they? And I'm not sure, Robin. That was Jen's ex, not Maddie's dad. So this is going to be Tyler. They're calling Maddie's father. How old was she? I think it was in 2014, and they were married for like 2 years. So like 2014 to 16 or something like that, or 13 to 15. I can't remember. But Maddie was 4 when he left her. So that would be 9. I don't know. Y'all do the math. I don't even know when Pi Day is. All right. So this is Tyler. Madeline Soto's bio father.
Smallwood, and we're going to be calling Tyler.
Hello?
Hi, is this... once again, appreciate you taking my call this
Is this his
afternoon. So, as you're well aware, I got myself and my partner here, Detective Smallwood, logically involved, but Tyler is.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask a majority of my questions. I need him to answer instead of you. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
So it's both of
Tyler,
them.
what's your... Can you spell your first and last name for me?
Yes, sir. My first name is Tyler. Tyler.
Okay. Okay. So once again, first of all, I want to express our condolences to you.
Thank you, sir.
I know it's a difficult time for you and everybody else that's involved. So some of these questions may be difficult for you to answer, but I want you to do your best you can. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So Tyler, you are Madeline's biological father. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I am her biological father.
Okay. When were you and Jennifer together?
I was... Are you asking our physical time or like relationship time?
Yeah, relationship time.
We dated when I was 16. I believe we're...
Maddie's bio dad dated 3/11/2024.
3/11.
together
Thank you,
for
Eric.
roughly 3 years. And then we ended up having an encounter in 2009 from which Maddie was born.
An encounter.
Okay. We were not together at the time.
So they had a one night stand, and along came Maddie. Not that it should matter. Not that it should matter, but that's the history there.
Was with my wife. We were engaged. Well, we weren't engaged yet, but it was around that time.
Got it. Okay.
Oh, damn. So he cheated on the chick he's with Jenn. Why do all these people sound like they have open mother effing relationships? You're about to get engaged to this current woman and you went and got freaking Jenn pregnant? Ugh. There is something wrong with this.
Cheapers.
Mine doesn't, Mystic. My heart breaks for Maddie. Ugh.
Together at the time, I was with my wife. We were engaged. Well, we weren't engaged yet, but it was around that time.
Got it. Okay. Were you in Florida here, or where were you guys at?
I was at the time of our dating, so when I was 16 years of age and such, we would have been in Florida around Orlando and Kissimmee.
Okay.
I was living with my parents at the time. She was living with hers. At the time of our second encounter in 2009, I would have been stationed, I believe, in Baltimore, Maryland, doing training, and then in Kings Bay, Georgia Naval Base is where I was stationed for my duty station, and I encountered her there.
Okay.
The Navy base? Isn't that where freaking Chris and Katie lived with Seth? Stop it. Didn't they go to the Kings Bay, Georgia Naval Base? Can you guys tell me that or not? In 09, 08? Didn't Taco live in Georgia with Seth and Katie in 07? They met in 07. Sebastian was born in 08 in Georgia. Do I have that right?
Did she live up there? Or
my duties, and then in Kings Bay, Georgia Naval Base is where I was stationed for me with hers. At the time of our second encounter in 2009, I would have been stationed, I believe, in Baltimore, Maryland, doing training, and then in Kings Bay, Georgia Naval Base is where I was stationed for my duty station, and I encountered her there.
Okay. Did she live up there or just come to visit? How did that come about?
She was visiting. Our initial encounter in 2009, she was living in New York with her father at the time. I had just gone through boot camp, and we had connected, I believe, on MySpace. And then she ended up visiting me and a group of my Marines around November, and I only know it was that time because it was around the Marine Corps ball, so I have something to tie it to. I'm actually pretty wishy-washy with time, but that was around the period our encounter would have occurred.
Got it.
I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Can you reframe or if I answered that, let me know what.
No, yeah, you're good. So you guys weren't actually dating at the time she was conceived, is that correct?
Yes, sir, correct.
Okay. How much involvement have you had in Maddie's life?
I have tried to maintain civil connections with the mother. I would say prior to the last 2 years, I normally got to see my daughter about once a year. So it's like it was 2 years since I got to see Maddie, and the last time I saw her was October of last year.
And where were you then? Did you come to Florida or?
She came to Texas.
Maddie was sent to visit us in Texas. She traveled unattended. I received her at the airport.
Okay. How would you describe the relationship between you and Jennifer right now?
I am not contacting Jennifer, and I desire to receive updates outside of the family. All the information I have regarding my daughter has been passed to me through her family, and I just...
Right, I get that, but what was your guys' relationship leading up to all of this?
Y'all, I had to take the dogs out. What the hell? Wait. I received her at the airport. Isn't that weird to say? Our encounter? And he lives in Texas. And Sebastian and Madeline went missing on the same day. And then this Air Force base, it kind of lines up with the same time frame that Katie was in the Navy. Y'all, is it a big coincidence? Is this a coincidence? Yeah, he was in the Navy. He was on the naval base. In Kings Bay, Georgia, where Katie was. And Sebastian was born in Georgia, and that was in 2008. Sold out. Yeah, it is insane. And someone said in another interview, I haven't heard of it yet. I haven't heard it yet. But put your tinfoil hats on. No, he said naval base. Express Scripts. He didn't mention that, did he? But we have these pills. We have Express Scripts. We got Kings Bay Naval Base. Wait a minute. Who said they moved to... Wait a minute. Oh, a Marine? Oh, my bad. But they were stationed in similar areas. Okay. It's a naval base. Okay. But that is a small motherfucking world. And then their kids go missing on the same day. #weird. He was stationed at a naval base. Okay. Holy.
McNo.
Hold my hand, Flo. Hold my hand, Flo.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Marines, well, still, it's the same base at the same time. All right, let's keep listening. Oh, he does. Is he Elaine? Is he over there saying my name? Hey, Gray. Say my name to your audience who fucking hates you. Say my name.
I tried to talk with Jennifer as little as possible.
Lord.
There was a period when Maddie was first born that Jennifer seemed pretty intent on breaking up my marriage with my wife. And so, in the nature of making everybody happy, I just talked to Jennifer as little as possible, which is why I had so little contact with Maddie growing up. I only just recently started reaching out to Maddie through, like, Skype and stuff, where she was able to, or not Skype, excuse me, what did we use? I think we used, like, Instagram or FaceTime, but we would use...
He just recently started reaching out to Maddie. Maddie told her friend she didn't like her dad.
Like video chat, grand stuff, where she was able to reaching out, which is why I had so little contact with Maddie. I just talked to Jennifer as little as possible, which is why I had so little contact with Maddie growing up. I only just recently started reaching out to Maddie.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No respect. Yeah, I'm sure your current wife didn't want you talking to Jennifer. So, well, no, Potato. He cheated on his wife. They were engaged. Well, he says almost engaged. He cheated on his wife with Jenn and got her pregnant and then married this chick. So this chick was like, I don't like Jenn. Well, forget the kid you just created. It's even lamer than you thought. So they got married and then screw Maddie because she's part of Jenn. And what did he say about being 16 years old? I was outside with the dog when he said that. Stephanie, you got scolded for saying you have no remorse for him? Well, join the club. It's a total excuse. Total excuse. I didn't want to talk to Jennifer, so that's why I had I didn't talk to her much growing up. Shame on you. I get it. I mean, I wasn't going to say nothing, but it was an absent father. Admittedly, and making excuses. Tyler, learn from your mistakes and try to talk to other dads that are making the same mistake. You can right your wrong. You can right your wrong. Are they the same age, you guys?
Like Skype and stuff where she was able to, or not Skype, excuse me, what did we use? I think we used like Instagram or FaceTime, but we would use like video chats and voice chat to start talking. And so I was starting to get a deeper relationship with Maddie, and then this occurred.
Okay. So you say you contacted her through social media. What do you list yourself on different social media accounts? What is your screen names?
My screen names?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, Joe.
Usually my screen names will all be a variation of my email.
Okay, he was kind of caught off guard by this. Listen to this question again.
Screen names.
My screen names?
Yeah. Social media accounts. What is your screen names?
My screen names?
Yeah. Screen names.
My screen names?
Yeah.
Usually my screen names will all be a variation of my email. I have on Facebook it just says my normal name. I believe Instagram I come up 3. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm bad at managing all of my social media accounts. I'm locked out of half of them right now.
Okay. All right. All right. So you said you and Jennifer, you haven't had that cordial relationship. But you started
I would say our relationship has been cordial, but it is a surface level cordialness maintained on our side to guarantee access with Maddie, because I was never able to afford to go to court to get my custodial rights established with her.
Okay.
I was never able to afford to go to court to get my custodial rights established with her. Wow.
I wouldn't let you sleep in my room if you were growing on my ass.
And you said you started reaching back out to Maddie last year on a more consistent basis?
Yes, sir. She was coming up on the age of 13, and so the last time I had stayed, when she had visited us in October, I was basically talking to her about how she would feel about coming to live with us in Texas, if that was something she would be interested in. And she expressed that she would be interested, but she didn't say why or what. We just kind of left it at that, and it was something I was going to talk to Jennifer about, but just hadn't.
Another, oh, do you want to come live with me? But he didn't talk to Jennifer about it. These custody things happen all the time. But isn't it wild that Maddie and Sebastian were both reported missing on the same day? I'm mind blown.
Hadn't yet.
Okay. How was Madeline when she come to see you in October?
She seemed to be in very good spirits, but a thing I kept saying was that I don't know if this will make sense to you, but I can give you the context if you need it. She reminded me of a character from a show called Euphoria, in the sense that there was just an emotional weight about her.
These people are out of touch with reality, in my opinion. Okay, here's my assessment. They compare real life to movies and video games. These people compare real life to movies and video games. The hell is he talking about?
The idea, if you need it. She reminded me of a character from a show called Euphoria, in the sense that there was just an emotional weight about her that I did not understand what was the cause. It just seemed like she was dealing with stuff that a 12-year-old girl shouldn't deal with, but I didn't get to see her enough to really pry, and so I was just trying to ask her, like, surface-level comfort questions to build a relationship with her, but I had no...
Okay, I need to go back to when they were 16. Did he say she flew there? Or was she an adult when she flew there? Did you guys... I'm confused.
No clue anything was going on at that time.
Got it. How long was she out there visiting you?
She was with us for 4 days in October.
Okay.
4 days? Let's see what Euphoria is. I've never heard of it either. A drama series. About a teenage drug addict? Euphoria follows high schoolers in the fictional town of East Highland, California, who seek hope while balancing the strains of love, loss, sex, and addiction. The fuck? I can't.
Have you for 4 days in October?
Got it.
Build a relationship with her, but I had no clue anything was going on at that time.
Got it. How long was she out there visiting you?
She was with us for 4 days in October.
Okay. Have you talked to her since October?
I had a couple of Instagram communications with her since then. I talked to her, I believe, once or twice on video chat. And I can't remember the exact dates, but I have, just so you know, I have left all of my social media untouched since the search turned into a verification that she was in fact dead, just in case any of my social medias can be useful to you guys.
Why would he even bring that? Weird.
Oh, my social media.
They didn't even ask about your shit,
chat.
dude.
And I can't remember the exact dates, but I have, just so you know, I have left all of my social media untouched since the search turned into a verification that she was in fact dead, just in case any of my social medias can be useful to you guys.
Okay. At the end, I'm going to give you my email address. If you can just send me screenshots of your conversations with Maddie or any that you may have had with Jennifer.
Yes, let me write that down real quick. Screenshots of conversations.
Write it down.
With Maddie or Jennifer.
Yeah.
How can you forget that?
Is there anything in specific you're looking for?
Nope, just all your conversations. That'd be great.
Say that one more time.
Sorry, just all of the conversations you've had with Maddie.
All of them, dude.
Yeah, got it.
Nope, just
listen to that. Is there anything? Listen.
Is there anything in specific you're looking for?
Nope, just all your conversations. That'd be great.
Say that one more time. Sorry,
just all of the conversations you've had with Maddie.
Yeah, got it.
And then if you've had some with Jennifer, those as well.
Roger.
So how did you come about to hear what happened with Maddie?
It was, hold on, let me pull up my phone so I can find the exact day. Give me 1 second. Monday, February 26th, or possibly, it was either the 25th.
Fortune asked, can someone tell me if they went to hit him just his, and then there's that by the detective.
In Texas, in Cypress, Texas, 26th. I had just worked a shift in Texas, in Cypress, Texas, at my place of employment, which is Imperial Vapor Company, and the time on deck was around 4 or 6.
Cypress?
The time on deck when
Let's see where Cypress, Texas is. I have no idea. Texas is a big state. Let's check it real quick. On the old map. Cypress looks like it's just outside of Houston. Just outside of Houston.
When I received the call was around 4 or 5 p.m. Interrupted. Jennifer called me and said that she had been informed by the school that Maddie never arrived at the school that day. And I asked Jennifer what she knew at that moment. She seemed distressed, but I told her, because she was trying to give me a bunch of stories about who had taken who where, and I said, I don't care about details right now. I need to know what you know. Where is Maddie? She did not know. And I said, how long has she been missing? And she said, since this morning. And then I said, okay, I need you to get in contact with the police department if you haven't already, and I would like you to continue to update me. And then she said, okay. And then...
It's not who's real dad, Christian. It's Maddie's bio dad, yes. But this is...
It was her birthday, and then she had mentioned that it was her birthday, and then when Jennifer and I were talking, I had started to mention the statistics of things like sex trafficking in Florida. I know that Houston...
He brought up sex trafficking.
Houston and Florida, of things like when Jennifer and I were talking, I had started to mention the statistics of things like sex trafficking in Florida. I know that Houston and Florida are high on sex trafficking, so I was throwing out scenarios of what we should be looking for. Did somebody grab Maddie? Was there videos out there? Could we see footage? And Jennifer was, I believe, writing some of this down. I don't know, but she was trying to, it appeared she was giving me whatever details she could. But then after that, I went home and waited with my wife. I let my wife know Maddie was missing. We started making some social media posts to spread the word.
No, Stephen was Jennifer's husband.
About day 2, and then on about day 2 or day 3, I just couldn't wait anymore. In Texas, I felt really hopeless, and so I let Tati know that I was going to drive down to Orlando, Florida, which I did. I drove to Orlando, Florida, and I'm not sure which day I drove down. It was the 3rd day after I found out, though. And I stayed with my friend, Lynn Bradshaw, who is like a lifelong friend of mine. He lives about 20 minutes away from the area where Maddie was taken. I can pause now if you have...
Dude, where does this guy live?
Any questions, or I can keep going.
No, you keep going.
Where does his friend live? Oh my God, if it's St. Cloud, 20 minutes?
Lives about 20 minutes.
Okay, I'm going to look it up
like a
privately.
lifelong friend of mine. He lives about 20 minutes away from the area where Maddie was taken. I can pause now if you have any questions, or I can keep going.
No, you keep going.
Fresh in my mind.
He's like, keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
So at the time when I arrived at Lens, my initial first thought was, I'm going to fucking go out to the last known GPS location. Jennifer had sent me like a pin or a GPS location of where Maddie's disappearance would happen. And at that point, Lynn and I had basically discussed the pros and cons of going to look for myself. The pros being that it would make it feel like I was doing something. The cons being that I really had no idea what I was looking for. And then that's when we started seeing like Twitter posts from the Kissimmee and various police departments saying, please do not engage in any public searching. We are currently working on this. And so I feel like I just knew in my heart that shit was going bad. I was staying with Lynn to help me kind of keep my emotions in check and just watching social media.
I would, Kelsey, but there was an issue that came up, and if they had made me take the whole video down, I'm using in the description date, a good job there keeping interviews, Matt, due to
often to see if any news articles had come out. A bunch of my a couple of days at Len's place, and then they flew out. all kind of blends together. And at this point, I lose track of which days or when, because it just all kind of blends together. But I took notes, so if you need specific dates of when I was interacting with people, I should be able to dig that up. It's not off the top of my head.
Okay.
So...
Did you have any,
I believe it was the night I arrived at Florida that Lynn and I got confirmation that Stefan, and that he had been arrested, and that there was sexual abuse tied into this whole thing.
And how did you hear that?
I honestly can't remember when I finally could. I had been trying to not listen to the news, so I'm not sure when I actually finally concluded that Maddie was dead. I can't remember if it was reading an article or if I had gotten a call. Maybe you called me. I don't really remember who told me. I just remember kind of the day that it happened.
Okay, how did you hear the news about him being arrested? Did Jennifer tell you, or did you see it on the news?
I was informed of Stefan being arrested by Tati. Who told you?
And then the news told me.
Okay.
Why did that sound so scripted? He says to his wife, I was informed by Tati. Who told you? The news told me. What?
I was informed of Stefan being arrested by Tati. Who told you?
And then the news told me.
Hold on. I want to see what date. James Cox. What date was that? March 6th. May 16th was the murder. March 5th. What day was Stefan arrested originally? James Cox was arrested on Tuesday. So Henry Cox offed himself March 6th, and James Santa was arrested March 6th.
Okay.
Press conference.
All right. When you were here, did you and Jennifer see each other?
The only time I saw Jennifer was when I made an appearance for, I'm not sure if it was an official funeral, but I have pictures from the location and the name of the funeral house. It was
I made an appearance. I'm not sure if it was an official funeral. He was arrested on the 28th. What's up, Texas Ranger? The 28th of February. So a week later was the raid on Santa. And then, okay. Weird. He made an appearance at the funeral. Sounds like a show.
funeral was when I made an appearance for, I'm not sure if it was an official funeral, but I have pictures from the location and the name of the funeral house. It was a funeral house. They say that Maddie is going to be cremated in the next couple of weeks, but there was a closed casket that Jennifer's family was there, and I arrived with my separate party. I believe all interactions between me and Jennifer happened on a camera in the main thing of the funeral home. I did not speak with her anywhere else but in the funeral home. I hugged a few of her family members, and I hugged her at one point, but we shared very few words, and I was not a big fan of the hug. It was more for social purposes, but...
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, our main focus right now is Maddie. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Not the relationship you and Jennifer have or have not had or whatever. That's
acknowledged.
So I don't know if some of these questions are difficult because listening or whatever, but I don't want.
Hey, Diana.
Like I said, our main focus right now is Maddie. So
yes, sir. The hardest thing has already happened, which is she's dead, and I am not okay with that. But for the purpose of cooperation and for the purpose of your.
Our main focus right now is Maddie. So
yes, sir. The hardest thing has already happened, which is she's dead, and I am not okay with that. But for the purpose of cooperation and for the purpose of your investigation, I'm willing to go through emotional pain to get there. So just please continue asking what you need, and I will keep you apprised. I'm not okay with that, but for the purpose of cooperation and for the purpose of your investigation, I'm willing to go through emotional pain to get there. So just cooperation, and for the purpose of your investigation, I'm willing to go through emotional pain. For the purpose of cooperation and for the purpose of your investigation, I'm willing to go through emotional pain.
He's willing to go through emotional pain. Wow.
To get there, so just please continue asking what you need, and I will keep you apprised of my emotional condition.
No, I appreciate it.
I will keep you apprised of my emotional condition? Fuck your emotional condition. Suck it up, motherfucker. What?
Continue asking for the purpose of your investigation. I'm willing to go through emotional pain to get there, so just please continue asking what you need, and I will keep you apprised of my emotional condition.
No, I appreciate it. Okay,
The cop's like, what? I appreciate it. That's fucking weird. Yeah, thanks for making the sacrifice for Maddie.
Emotional pain to get purpose of cooperation, and for the purpose of your investigation, I'm willing to go through emotional pain to get there, so just please continue asking what you need, and I will keep you apprised of my emotional condition.
No, I appreciate it. Okay, did you and Jennifer talk about what may or may not have happened to Maddie?
Only on the initial phone call, when I threw out a couple of scenarios trying to figure out where to even start looking for myself. After that phone call was pretty much minimized between me and Jennifer. I know at some point she had her phone taken and contacted me through an alternate phone number to provide me information of where, like, the funeral home was. So I was in text communication.
Well, I don't think he had any emotional feelings towards Madeline. That's my feelings. I don't feel like he had any emotional ties to her. He didn't even know her. He said he just started talking to her, and he compared her to a drug addicted teenager in a TV show. This is her bio dad. This is Maddie's bio dad.
With her infrequently throughout my stay in Orlando for stuff like that. I have attempted to comfort her before I realized that Maddie was dead, but that I don't think I was in Florida. That was over the phone when I was like, "Hey, Maddie was dead," but I have attempted to comfort her before I realized that Maddie was dead, but that I don't think I was in Florida. That was over the her before I realized that Maddie was dead, but that I don't think I was in Florida. That was over the phone when I was like, "Hey."
Best.
But it's one of those things where as more and more information comes out between you and me, I'm becoming aware. I don't know what Jennifer did or didn't know. I don't know if she was aware of this happening or not. And the context of if she knew and was enabling, or if she is as much of a victim as Maddie, will dictate how comfortable I am having any for. Frankly, I'm not interested in contacting her family ever again anyways. But, like, it's one of those, if Jennifer, as much as a victim of this as I am, I'm content to just let them live their life in privacy.
Hey, Granny.
But I swear to fucking God, if I find out Jennifer was involved and enabled this, I will take whatever legal action I can.
So he's only coming to tears with the thought of Jennifer being involved? What? This doesn't even sound right to me.
I didn't want to see you again for the rest of my whole life, and I didn't want to see anybody else either.
Okay.
I just need a second. I'm sorry. I'm ramping. If I am, I'm anyways. But, like, it's one of those, if Jennifer, as much as a victim of this as I am, I'm content to just let them live their life in privacy. But I swear to fucking God, if I find out Jennifer was involved and enabled this, I will take whatever legal action I can.
Okay.
I just need a second. I'm sorry. I'm ramping up. I just need a second. I'm ramping up. I just need a second.
I'm ramping up?
Second. I'm sorry. I'm ramping up. I just need a second.
Oh my God. Hold on. I'm ramping up. Is that what Tataya tells you? Slow down, Steven. You're ramping up now. The cop's like,
I'm sorry. I'm ramping up. I just need a second. Sorry. I'm ramping up. I just need a second. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
He comes back totally fine. Watch.
I just need a second. I'm sorry. I'm ramping up. I just need a second. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Do you think it was normal for Jennifer to call you
good point,
when
Lisa.
she went missing? Or
Lisa with a big
did that
bing
seem
bong.
kind of out of the blue because you guys haven't had much communication?
Jennifer almost never tells me anything. I think the only reason she told me is because she realized that I was going to find out eventually.
Okay.
But I can't confirm or deny that. That's just me speculating.
Okay. Has she told you in the past any issues that Maddie may have had or has not had, like parenting stuff?
About 2 years ago when I was in prison is when I heard that Maddie had received a diagnosis for autism, which is something that I always thought that maybe about 2 years ago when I was in prison is when I heard about 2 years ago when I was in prison is when I heard about 2 years ago when I was in prison is when I heard that Maddie had received a diagnosis for autism, which is something that I always thought that maybe I dealt with.
He was in prison 2 years ago. For what? Fuck was he in prison 2 years ago for? Lord have mercy. Was he on probation? Is that why he couldn't go and leave the state? Good Lord. Wop, 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 wop. They ain't like us. They ain't like us.
Traits that I have, and the short version of the story
He
here
says
is
traits too. Listen.
When I was in prison.
Listen.
Parenting stuff or
about 2 years ago when I was in prison is when I heard that Maddie had received a diagnosis for autism, which is something that I always thought that maybe I dealt with, autistic traits that I have. And the short version of the story here is I believe my daughter did not have autism, and I believe I don't have autism. I believe we have autistic traits that are symptoms of PTSD.
He believes that both him and his daughter have traits of is from PTSD, not traits of autism. Stealing explosives in the military? What? Housing ammunition? Oh my God. Thuffer and Thuckatath. Oh, Wallace. Yeah. Wallace. Uh-oh. You hear our TV? We're getting a warning. God almighty. What is it? Weather? Okay, here we go.
And realizing that it wasn't a genetic autistic trait that I passed on to Maddie, it was probably her having similar developmental conditions that I had as a child that I was recognizing in her. And that's real fucking hard to deal with, man.
Okay.
I wish I had seen the signs, but I just didn't. I was just trying to get a relationship with Maddie on the back end. I've been so patient waiting to have my turn with my little girl. And then this shit happens and I just don't know what to think. I'm just processing. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
All right. Have you ever met Jennifer's boyfriend, Stefan?
I don't think so. I think I've only ever seen pictures of him on Instagram. I'm trying to remember that. I didn't remember when Stefan came into Jennifer's life, but I've done some research on Reddit, and according to a local post that I found, it looks like he may have entered her life around 2018.
He might have entered her life in 2018. He was on Reddit too. And I don't think you'll have to pry that from his cold, dead hands.
Which I would have still been in Kansas at that time. I do remember.
Kansas? He was in Kansas? Isn't that where Steph's mom is from Kansas. I don't know.
For talking to Jennifer about Stefan and being like, hey, I'm low-key uncomfortable with you just bringing a guy around my kid. But that was one of those things where it's like, I didn't really feel like I had a choice. I didn't really feel like I had a say. Jennifer always seemed pretty comfortable with Stefan. I knew he was a biomechanical engineer from what Jennifer told me, which always weirded me out.
Biomechanical engineer, and it weirded him out.
What the fuck would a biomechanical engineer from what Jennifer told me, which always weirded me out on what the fuck would a biomechanical engineer want with Jennifer. Like, I'm not saying she's a terrible person, but I just didn't.
He cracked me up with that.
Her would attract somebody like that. And so I do have a working theory with what I think happened. I am aware that this is all speculation, but if you'd like to hear that, I will share with you what I suspect may have happened.
Okay. What do you think happened?
So the only thing that makes sense to me at this point is I've heard stories that possibly Stefan had stabbed somebody when he was 14 and that his dad had moved him across country. I've heard an article that maybe the only thing that makes sense to me at this point is...
Okay, so that is true. Stefan's dad told a story. I don't know. And I wanted to bring this up too because I want to do a playthrough of it. A watch along, if you will. Hidden True Crime had the Sterns on. You know, Dr. John and Lauren from Hidden True Crime. Y'all, it is crazy. I didn't get to finish it. I don't, Kels. Talking about Stefan. Oh, thank you, GB. I didn't even see your gifted membership. Can mods slow down the chat a little bit? GB, thank you. I'm glad you spoke up. Honey Bunny got it. Honey Bunny, you need to give GB a huge thank you. Thank you, GB. Jennifer told him that Stefan was a biomechanical engineer. Good night, Timsy.
I've heard stories that possibly Stefan had stabbed somebody when he was 14 and that his dad had moved him across country.
Thank you.
Has anybody ever heard that before? That's for you.
His dad said he said that he had PTSD from stabbing a guy. A guy pulled over and attacked the crowd of teens because they flipped him the bird and they only went after Stefan.
That maybe a former roommate had seen on Stefan's computer and that Stefan's mother had paid off the roommate. I don't know the veracity of those things, but the article that maybe a former roommate had seen on Stefan's computer and that Stefan's mother had paid off the roommate. I don't know the veracity of on Stefan's computer and that Stefan's mother had paid off the roommate. I don't know the veracity of those things, but those are what got me thinking on the mindset of, okay,
guys.
So if his family moved him to avoid legal consequences for deviant behavior in the past, and he claims he worked at Disney, which I know Jennifer has always been around Disney, and so I'm thinking to myself, what would a predator do to find access to a child? Maybe they would go get a job at some place like Disney where there's high access, passive.
Well, we have the guy that called in the Gray's channel. We have his interview. It's coming up.
And just observed, and then when he located a child that was of his taste, maybe he saw that Maddie was approaching Jennifer regularly, introduced himself. It has always been my opinion that Jennifer has not been as attentive of a mother as I would like. I feel like my daughter got passed around Jennifer's family for things like daycare quite often, and that whenever I wanted to get into contact with Maddie, it was difficult because I never knew when she was going to be home or available. And I think that maybe Stefan saw that as a predator and saw that that was a pretty easy environment to insert himself into their life. I then suspect he set up a... And at what point I become curious watching shows like Dexter or things like that is...
Scorpio, or what are you talking about? You've been popping off the whole live. What are you talking about, Dad? Everybody out at me. 60
fucked up their schedule then. How did he go from this page? So okay, what fucked up their schedule then? How did he go from this patient calculating monster who did all of these things to being emotionally incompetent and disposing of a body off the side of a fucking road? I just don't understand what changed their behavior. And I say there because I started watching. It took me a couple of days to have the emotional space, but I started watching interviews of them when they were reaching out to the news outlets. Jennifer told me they were going to reach out to the news outlets when Maddie was missing, so I knew she had done that, but I just hadn't watched the interviews. And when I watched the interviews, Stefan is in a couple of them, and I was watching his body language, but then because I was doing that and some YouTube videos about body language came out, I was looking at Jennifer's body language, and it's like, I saw very strong emotions in her, but they seemed like anxiety, like not grief, not she was waiting at home while our daughter was still missing, like that. I literally can't wrap my brain around that. It doesn't make sense to me. And so what I suspect happened is something that they couldn't avoid, something like maybe or something, and they realized like, oh fuck, we can't get an abortion, you can't hide this. Maybe they did something. I don't know if Jennifer was involved or wasn't. Maybe Stefan did all this on his own and she just found out. That makes sense to me. And so what I suspect happened is something that they couldn't avoid, something like maybe or something, and they realized like, oh fuck, we can't get an abortion, you can't hide this. Maybe they did something. I don't know if Jennifer was involved or wasn't. Maybe Stefan did all this on his own and she just found out. That's where my head is at, and that's why I was like, you know what, I think I want to set up separate updates with the police department, because I just don't know. I just don't like the fact that everything I know about my daughter has been filtered through that family to me. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. That's my piece.
That's okay. Have you
Yeah. Alibi says it might be useful to put the interview to not to have that to do it this I can do. If I am through it was you growing the channel.
With bipolar, I don't
or anything like that. When Jennifer
gang and subscribe.
When you and Jennifer were together,
was
she on any kind of medication or anything like that, or do you know if she's been on any medication since?
She was never open with me when we were together. I do know that since we dated, she's been diagnosed with bipolar. I don't know what medication she's currently on, but I know that she's been on medications as hardcore as lithium in the past.
Okay. What about Maddie?
I don't remember the names of the medications, but I was informed when Maddie came to visit me that she was on antidepressants, anti-anxiety medication. Do you know the names of them?
Yes, hydroxyzine was one of them. She would take at night. I didn't feel comfortable giving because I take hydroxyzine to go to sleep.
It's absolutely a minefield, Thomas. It's every day.
And I only, and so I was only one while she was here, with us visiting. The other one was Miralax, so she could go to the restroom regularly.
Okay. Now, when you were giving her the medication to help her sleep, did she have a prescription bottle with her?
Yes, there was a prescription bottle.
And on the prescription, did it say? So that's what the doctor prescribed her? Mm-hmm. Okay. Tyler, did you have any discussions with Jennifer about medicine that Abby was taking or Maddie was taking?
Never.
Okay.
Did I remember? I don't think Jennifer ever really told me about their visits. It was just that when I was responsible for Maddie, she would rattle off a list of what I was responsible to make sure she got.
Okay. And when Maddie come to visit you, what were the sleeping arrangements like?
Maddie slept in the bed with Tofty. I wanted to sleep with them and kind of make a little Maddie sandwich, and she was not very keen on that idea.
No. No. You don't make Maddie sandwiches. What? Why did the other guy say she was a Sour Patch? She was a Maddie Sour Patch Kid. What? She was not keen on the idea. of a Maddie sandwich.
Yeah, so she made sure that I slept on the make. Maddie slept in the bed with Tofty. I wanted to sleep with them and kind of make a little Maddie sandwich, and she was not very keen on that idea, so she made sure that I slept on the couch. Sandwich in the bed with Tofty. I wanted to sleep with them and kind of make a little Maddie sandwich, and she was not very keen on that idea, so she made sure that I slept on the couch. Sometimes we cuddled, but
I thought he didn't see her growing up. She was just there in October. She was 12. She was 12, right? In last October. He said, I didn't see her growing up because I didn't talk to Jenn. Or is he talking about, like, where are they in this picture, you know? What the hell? A Maddie sandwich? I've never even heard of that. I've never heard. No. Oh my gosh. Cheryl T. Yes, you are one of my witnesses. Yes, it was her own actions, dude. She doesn't like me because of that. She started blocking. Yeah, it's creepy. I put our daughter in the middle. Okay, but at 12? And you call it a Maddie sandwich when you don't even know her? No, that's weird. Sorry. And then she slept with Stefan Stern's mom, too. It is, Hazel. It is really a long time. I've tried being nice, too. She hates me. I guess I have a lot of haters over there on that channel. That's why I get fucking ran through the coals when I go over there. Gotta have thick skin for these streets.
Yeah, that was the sleeping arrangements as you. And she was not with
sleeping arrangements, like, okay. And when Maddie come to visit you, what were they sleeping?
Yep. October. Maddie was 12. Why do you want to cuddle with a 12-year-old that you didn't raise, number one? You just want her to fly there and cuddle with her? The fuck? You do, Beans? Yeah, this ain't normal in my book.
Arrangements, like,
Maddie slept in the bed with Tofty. I wanted to sleep with them and kind of make a little Maddie sandwich, and she was not very keen on that idea, so she made sure that I slept on the couch. Sometimes we cuddled, but yeah, that was the sleeping arrangements as you.
Whose idea was it to have what you referred to as like the Maddie sandwich? Who was it? Or Maddie?
I believe it was Maddie who was uncomfortable with it. She didn't straight up say, I don't want to cuddle, but she would cuddle with me when it was just me and her, and I believe she'd cuddle with you when it was just you and her, but when we were together, she would become a little bit more shy, is the word I would use. But I believe it was Maddie who was uncomfortable with it. She didn't straight up say, I don't want to cuddle, but she would cuddle with me when it was just me and her, and I believe she'd cuddle with you when it was just you and her, but when we were together, she would become a little bit more shy.
No, this is not normal. I'm sorry. I have to speak up. This is not normal. Maddie was not down with it when it was both of us. I can't even look at his eyeballs. I can't. Look at his eyeballs and tell me how many seconds you last. Look at his eyeballs and tell me how many seconds in chat you last. I lasted about 0.5 of a second.
Is the word I would use.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, when she would sleep at night, me having children myself, sometimes children, they kind of flop all over the place when they're sleeping. Did you notice anything like that with Maddie?
Yes, I will say I also sleep like that.
Okay, well, Maddie suffered from PTSD because she was SA'd almost her whole life. A split second. I know I can't look. but she thrashed around. She punched and kicked, according to Stefan and Jenn. And now her dad's saying that, but he says, oh, I do that too. We both just have PTSD. Dog the psychic bounty hunter. No boundaries at all. Very creepy.
And Tati had commented on how Maddie... yes, I will say I also sleep like that, and Tati had commented on how Maddie sleeps just like me. I very much thrash a lot, and Maddie was a kicker and a mover and a thrasher.
Okay, did it seem like she got good night's sleep, or she was up and down?
She, like, once I gave her the medicine, she was fine. Like,
once I gave her the medicine, she was fine. Here we are again with nighttime medicine.
She would go to sleep. Medicine, she was fine. Like, she would go to sleep.
Without the medication, she was more like me, though, where insomnia would set in, and in the evening, our emotions would... She literally told me one night, I'm so sorry, my medication is wearing off. I'm having big mood swings. They're crazy.
And so, yes, I'd wake up with, like, an elbow in my face. But to get her up in the morning was the issue, because she never wanted to get up on, like, the first shake, or not even the second. So
Shake? On the first or second shake? God, why do I picture them giving this little girl drugs and then shaking her awake? What? She gets a Maddie sandwich and then you fucking shake her? Wow. Wow is all I've got to say.
I just chalked it up to get up the issue, because she never wanted to get up on, like, the first shake, or not even the second. So I just chalked it up to her being more like Tyler, because it takes him a while to get up in the morning. Mm-hmm. But
no, you think it was the medication?
Yeah.
All right. Do you know? You may not know this. Do you know if Jennifer was taking that same type of medicine?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Does she talk about her relationship with Jenn and her relationship with Stefan?
I asked her if her mother and Stephen were still together, and she says no, they're not together. She, loved her mom, mm-hmm. because every time I would make a little bit of a snarky comment, she would correct me and say everybody's beautiful in their own way.
Listen to this bitch. She didn't like Jenn because Jenn cheated on, or Tyler cheated on this chick, Tatia, with Jenn. So Tatia didn't like her. Therefore, Maddie didn't have a father growing up. And this girl says, oh, if I made even just a little bit of a snarky, you shouldn't make any comments about her mother when she's visiting for 4 fucking days. This bitch couldn't close her mouth for 4 days for this child. She couldn't even close her mouth for 4 days to let Maddie have a peaceful fucking vacation of 4 days away from that house of horrors. So she had to go to her dad's and hear snarky remarks about her mom. Grow up. These people are all fucking, they act like they're 14. Oh, it makes me so mad.
Yeah.
She, loved her mom, mm-hmm. because, every time I would, make, a little bit of a snarky comment, she would, correct me and say, everybody's beautiful in their own way. And we never really talked about Stephen when she was around, just to say that they weren't together.
How was her demeanor when she answered that?
It was kind of well, they're not together, whatever. Just...
Would you call that, dismissive?
Dismissive, yeah.
Okay, so upset or, angry, or just kind of, how would
kind
you...
of emotional reaction? Did she seem like she was uncomfortable? Did she seem, how did she seem to you?
She just seemed like she was just casually talking to me. It wasn't a angry emotion or anything like that.
That's kind of the problem. Is I would ask surface level questions on if she was happy, but she always answered pretty vaguely, and so I just truly never knew anything was wrong. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. I'm talking. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
So she was just kind of...
Yeah, so she must have called Jenn ugly, which is really, really nice to say, right? Considering that Maddie is half Jenn, right? Because why would Maddie need to respond with everyone's beautiful in their own way? Maddie had more sense in the hell she went through in her 13 years, and now she's gone. She had to tell this stepmom that everyone's beautiful in their own way. I don't know, Auntie Cheryl. What is wrong with people? How many more Maddies are out there right now? Yeah, she was making cracks at her mother's looks. What? Wow.
like just dismissive, like we were just talking like, oh yeah, they're not together anymore, and I'm like, okay.
Okay. I know hindsight is 20/20, and you guys kind of only had a couple interactions with her yearly, but did you see any change in her personality over the last couple years? Do you anything that stands out?
I felt like the last time we met in October was the only time we ever really saw each other, is how I would describe it.
So there you have it. I feel like, wait, listen to this again and think of the Maddie sandwich comment. Look at Real Crystal. I'm out. This guy is disgraceful. I'm right with you, the Real Crystal love.
In October was the only time
anything that stands out?
I felt like the last time we met in October was the only time we ever really saw each other, is how I would describe it. Well, I'm being metaphorical. I saw her for the first time and she saw me for the first time. And
what the fuck does that mean? When you did the Maddie sandwich? What?
But did you see any change in her personality over the last couple years? Do you anything that stands out?
I felt like the last time we met in October was the only time we ever really saw each other, is how I would describe it. Well, I'm being metaphorical when I say I saw her for the first time and she saw me for the first time, and we really felt like we connected. Other than that, it's always been like she hasn't felt like I'm sorry, this is just father talk, but it's like I've been watching her grow, but she hasn't felt like a whole person with her own questions. And
yeah, completely disconnected. Completely disconnected. Yeah, please, can I sandwich between you two at 12 years old? This girl was menstruating. She was a 12-year-old preteen.
Curiosity and motivations. I'm sorry, this is just father talk, but it's like I've been watching her grow, but she hasn't felt like a whole person with her own questions and curiosity.
Father talk? Father talk is protecting your daughter. Father talk is being close to your daughter and telling her day in and day out, if anyone ever tries to hurt you, you tell me. That's father talk. Having Maddie sandwiches isn't father talk. No. You don't make emotional connections with an almost 13-year-old little girl you don't know by cuddling. You talk. You speak. You communicate. If everybody in this world who had an emotional connection to somebody had to jump in the sack and getting a sandwich with them, we'd have a fucking bigger problem, wouldn't we?
And hasn't felt like I'm sorry, this is just father talk, but it's like I've been watching her grow, but she hasn't felt like a whole person with her own questions and curiosity and motivations until the last time I saw her. She seemed like more an adult than a child, and it's not that it bothered me, it's just that it made me curious on what caused the sudden change in growth. Like, she went from being a silly little girl to being what I would describe as a Euphoria character, which Euphoria is a show all about kids who are dealing with crazy levels of trauma.
Huh? And you didn't do anything? You felt that it was that bad? Bye, Teresa. You have a good week. Thank you. I will. Check in with me.
You referring to the show with
Euphoria character, which Euphoria is a show all about kids who are dealing with crazy levels of trauma.
You referring to the show with
I think her name is Zendaya.
Zendaya, yes. Okay.
And yeah, I watched that show recently with my wife, and then when my daughter came to visit, I couldn't stop thinking about that show. Just because I don't know how to explain it. These young girls have this 1,000-mile look on their face that would...
What? How about we talk about what a man baby you are? How about we talk about, I don't know how old you are, but why you act like you're 14? Oh my God.
And when my daughter came to visit, I couldn't stop thinking about that show. Just because I don't know how to explain it. These young girls have this 1,000-mile look on their face that I would expect out of, like, Vietnam veterans, not fucking little girls.
Huh? What? I never even heard of the show before today, but what? They called him. What? Vietnam veterans? What? Listen to that again.
I don't know how to explain it. These young girls have this 1,000-mile look on their face that I would expect out of, like, Vietnam veterans, not fucking little girls. Like, I'm not saying that there wasn't trauma there. I'm saying as a man who has experienced trauma, that's what confuses.
This guy's fucked up, man. He's fucked up. There's something wrong.
How often did you have contact with Maddie prior to October?
How often? It was infrequent, unfortunately.
How many girls does he see that have trauma in their eyes? That's the question. No, think about that.
Bing bang.
All these girls have trauma in their eyes like they've been to Vietnam War, not like little girls. In general, he's saying it. Listen again.
I struggle with ADHD.
Oh, back
how
to
so many young girls.
How so many young girls. How many young girls do you see as a plumber? I'm just curious. How many young girls do you come into contact with that you notice a 1,000-mile look in their eyes? The only time that a little girl has a 1,000-mile look means she wants to be 1,000 miles away from what is happening to her in that moment. And this creeps me out.
Wake up.
Mm-mm.
Means how so many young girls have that look in their eyes of like.
How often did you have contact with Maddie prior to October?
How often? It was infrequent, unfortunately. I struggle with ADHD, and so did Maddie. And what that looks like for us is really bad time blindness and realizing you haven't talked to people for months and then reaching out awkwardly and trying to.
I mean, I would text her.
How often
always
would you text
with
her?
Regular communication. And earlier in Maddie's life, Jennifer used to give me really big issues about that. And then I thought Jennifer. just became a lot less. I'm growing as a person because I couldn't tell you when, but just sometime halfway through Maddie's life, Jennifer just became a lot less judgmental and mean about it. She was just like, hey, I get it. You have stuff going on. We have stuff going on. And so I felt like that was us getting close. Like, I felt like that was Jennifer understanding us more at the time, but now I'm curious.
All right, but going back to, you say it's infrequent on how many times you spoke with Maddie. So are we talking once a month?
Some weeks we would talk every day just because our schedules allowed us, and then sometimes we would go, I think, a couple of months without really interacting in any way.
Okay. All right.
And that was pretty typical of our relationship. Just very high intensity communication for a time, and then kind of dormancy.
Okay, ministry.
Gotcha.
I got to stop you in your tracks there. Maddie didn't hate her stepmom if she was cuddling with her and texting her. Maddie was groomed. Look at Maddie with Stefan Stearns. They FaceTimed all the time.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, he's not the plumber. That's right. He just got out of prison. I forgot. He just got out of prison. He's not the plumber. He was in the military. He did something bad and he went to prison for it.
You know, you're going to have some idiots like we, and
pretty high profile case. This information,
haven't seen you in years.
I share with of this investigation, whatever information I share with Jennifer, I will share with you. This is a pretty high-profile case, as you can tell by it's made national news and stuff like that. So the stuff that we release is going to be very minimal, and it's not to say anything against you and or Jennifer.
Probably, Kels.
When we do these types of investigations, we keep a lot of stuff close-knit just because you have... if you want to quote-unquote armchair quarterbacks that look into these things, and we don't need that happening. So
acknowledged. That's exactly why I stopped coming up with my own scenarios and wanted to reach out to you, as I realized I was myself joining in on the armchair quarterbacking, and that is very much not what we want to do in this situation.
Yeah. So you may hear from me on a daily basis, or you may hear from it may be a few days or a week or so before I contact you again. Okay?
Completely understood, sir. Thank you.
All right. Do you have any questions for us that we might be able to answer for you?
Give me a minute to think. I'm sorry. You may ask whatever you have.
Would it be possible we could reach out to a victim service advocate?
Yes, I will take your number down, and I will have our victim advocate reach out to you.
Okay, because the press is kind of getting to the point where they're contacting us every day.
Okay, they want a victim's advocate for the press. I guess that would be through the sheriff's department, right? Like a press, what do you call those? Public information officer or something? But don't victim advocates usually help you with resources for your loss and stuff? And through the court process and all that? For the trial, they would go, they go through the trial with them too. Hey, wait, what?
So my question to you is, I was until recently physically in Orlando. I was originally going to try to make myself physically available to you guys, but frankly, the emotional weight was tearing up my friends' lives too. This is really heavy shit. And
wait, what? Tearing up his friends? What? Why is everything always about everybody else but the victim here? Look at this sweet baby. His friends' lives? Oh, the people he was staying with?
Tearing up my friends' lives. Frankly, the emotional weight was tearing up my friends' lives too. This is really heavy shit. And
no, you're
I'm
not wrong.
Just trying to take care of my family and myself.
Yes, Christiane, he did go back a second time, and we also learned that during the last live with his dad's time. Dad and mom, he went. It's in the fine.
At some time, or are we trying to kind of make our way back to Texas at this point? I don't know what I should be doing in this case.
Yeah, you can go back to Texas. If we need you, or if we need to become face-to-face with you to gather more information, something like that, we will make a trip out to see you.
Okay, outstanding. In the meantime, would it be acceptable behavior if I were to, say, travel to visit my parents in Kansas, or is that something you would advise against at this time?
No, absolutely.
My parents just haven't been able to come down to Florida to grieve with us, so that was kind of my, like, not this week, but in a month I intend to visit my parents in Kansas. Would that be acceptable?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
As for the press, I know you said the press has been contacting you. Once again, you're adults. I can't tell you what or what not to do. Only
We're
thing
not
I
talking
can
with
do.
anybody at this point in time. We'll talk with victims advocates and legal representation to figure out if that's in the case's best interest at any point. But I have no horse in this race. I'm content to just stay off of the pages and grieve in private.
Okay, so what I would do though is any press that reaches out to you or something like that, if you do not want to talk to them, you can always defer them to our police department. And our public information officer will handle all those requests.
I appreciate that. I will direct any further people that reach out through you guys.
Okay.
Is there a number, or in fact, if I was going to, what should I say when I'm directing them? Is there a number or an email I should give them?
Just tell them no comment. You can contact the Kissimmee Police Department. That's all you got to say.
No comment. Let's contact Kissimmee Police Department. Thank you so much.
You got it. And I will be in touch with you, like I said, in the next few days. I'll probably reach back out to you.
Outstanding. I appreciate that.
All right. Yes, sir. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
So that was Maddie's bio dad.
That was Maddie's bio dad. Thank you, Auntie Cheryl. I don't know. Invoking the legal I don't know, y'all. Crazy, crazy, crazy town. If you ask me. Well, next one we're going to do, and I'm going to share the link with you because we definitely need to watch this more than once. So I would love for you guys to go to Hidden True Crime and give this a listen, because later this week we will go over it. I just don't know when with the storm and everything. So please give it a listen. Yeah, his mom is from Kansas. Yep, Parsons, Kansas. Here's the link to Stephen Stern's parents. Check this out. We'll play a little bit of it.
If you are new to our channel,
listen.
Medication wiki.
And it's long. It's 2 hours long. But watch, I want to show you the poodle. It's at the very beginning. Yeah, watch. There's Mrs. Stern's poodle. Watch.
In your hearts.
So the rumor has it that Stefan's ex-roommate, and we're going to listen to that. We're going to listen to more interviews too, but this is going to be the next one we listen to. But listen. We're not done yet. Listen. So rumor has it that Stefan was recording his roommate's girlfriend, and that there was images on his computer of children, I guess, young girls or boys. I don't know who. But anyways, Stefan's mom paid this guy off. It is very strange, Auntie Cheryl. It is nugget loaded, though. We need to definitely do a listen along, watch along. But watch the poodle. Watch the poodle, y'all.
Your minds. And
this
so
is the one that's very vocal.
Why don't we start honestly with sharing what I think many people might be wondering? Why are you choosing to do an interview today?
Well, we've
we'll watch it.
Had first of all, you're thrusted into a limelight that you would never expected to experience in your entire life. I apologize for having Lacey here, but we want to have as much silence as possible from the dogs. We need to bring the ringleader in here. So she's the one that's quite vocal and wants attention. So I apologize. She'll be quiet, hopefully, right, Lacey? Okay. But anyway, no one ever grows up expecting to experience attention. So I apologize. She'll be quiet, hopefully, right, Lacey? Okay. But anyway, no one ever grows up expecting to experience this. You've seen it on the news, you've seen it in the papers, and oh my gosh, how tragic that is. And all of a sudden, you find yourself in the same similar
Mods,
situation.
can you get that, please?
We had provided from the very beginning, proactively, very cooperative with the police authorities. I mean, I was caught off guard that Wednesday that Stefan was arrested, not even aware that he was being arrested.
I think he looks just like his dad.
I thought I was waiting
identical to his dad
hours to have a conversation with the police to learn what was going on, and if I could contribute any information, I would, and not realize
he looks really ill though. I mean, he looks old.
Disappearance of Maddie, and obviously.
Is that all? Is that the only time Lacey makes herself known?
Okay.
Watch Lacey.
How tragic that is. And all of a sudden,
Lacey.
You find yourself in
Lacey. Yes, very fucking weird. Yes, I like them too. So check that out. I'm gonna give you guys the link again. I don't like to, honestly, whoever said that person showed that yesterday, out of respect, when creators get interviews like this, it's always kind of respectful to wait a day or two at least to let people watch over on their channel first. I mean, it's just the right thing to do. So we will go through this week, but in the meantime, please do check out Hidden True Crime and watch this, and then we will watch it together. I think he looks identical to his father. I really do. Lacey, no more Lacey after this. This is where Lacey's done.
Similar situation. We had.
It's very weird. Northport is a very weird place. You think he's his mom's clone? Wait, I gotta show you Lauren's face. Watch. Look at the look on her face. I'd probably be the same way. This is when Lacey, look, Dr. John's looking down. Dr. John's like, okay. And she's like, hi, Lacey. Yeah, we will watch it together. We will watch it together. But it is cool. Go over there and watch it with them. They got this interview. They got the hard work into it. Yeah, he's not happy with YouTube creators, certain YouTube creators. He's not happy about the sunshine statute laws that the docket has been able to request all of this information. But you know what? It's not their fault that, Stefan did this, but I know, poor Lacey. Poor Lacey. Wow, you guys see his mom, huh? I see his dad, the little mouth, the long head. I don't know. God, he's a mix of both of them, isn't he? Ugh. All right, guys. Enough of Stearns for tonight. But what are we doing tomorrow? Oh, I did set up a call-in show for tonight. Like, not a call-in show, a panel on the other channel. A panel on the other channel. We will do that at 9 p.m. Might be a little later, depending on how my evening goes. You know how it goes over there. We kind of just roll with it. It's Every Day with Jay. But anyways, thanks for tuning in today, guys. Until the next one, let's roll our credits. Myron, I don't know if you're here, if you're playing Call of Duty. Duty. But keep your kids safe. Have the talks with your kids. Stay safe, everybody. And just every day remind your kids of, what's acceptable and what's not. Wop, 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 wop. Till the next one. Peace out. so much for watching. If you enjoyed this live stream or video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my latest content. Want to take it a step further?
Bring it all in.
And join our community clickers by becoming a Patreon or a YouTube member. You'll get exclusive access to our Discord server, special channel perks, and much more. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.
Click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to friends, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time, I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Calling my phone when you feel alone, but I'll never call you back. 'Cause I ain't got time, I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. I don't give a damn, I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Hey bro, I ain't finished. I ain't finished my sentence. I don't give a damn. You're mad at me for not giving you comfort. You say that I'm away so much and now you don't feel the way you felt when we were younger. But that's okay for me, 'cause I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn.
Did I ask you why are people such idiots?
So there's a lot of butt joints that we have to cover, and I'm like, Dudley, let's do butt joints together because I don't want to have to do them all by myself.
Bye, Jennifer.